Hey, I thought we was about to get us an Uncle D verse. Hey.
Get him. Said they call me Uncle D because I'm nasty. Black Bear, if anybody want to ask me. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Count it down for me.
Lyrical Acclaim Podcast counting down. We're here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at the clap.
Alrighty. Welcome back to another episode of the Lyrically Acclaimed Podcast. I'm your host, Ill-Minded Taz. And to the right of me, you know we got the one and only, the ARCHIE man,
You know.
Archie Boy in the building.
What's up? What's up?
And to the left of me, you know we got the one and only Uncle D in the building.
What's good? What's good?
What's going on?
Man, we also, before we get started, we want to thank all the people who subscribe and like and share. Make sure you do that, man. Help us build our community. We're trying to do some great things, not only for West Texas hip hop, but hopefully, you know, for the greater state of Texas and sometimes branching out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Keep on.
Yeah, we appreciate it. You know, like, share, subscribe, all that.
All the new followers and subs.
And also, go ahead and check us out on the Tailgate Sessions. We have another channel. Tailgate Sessions, we're gonna keep on doing our thing. You know, that's where you can hear us spit some verses and our guests spit some verses too. So go ahead and check that out too.
Yeah, we'll leave the links in the description so y'all can find it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
But you know, like what we always do, we gotta start this off.
Yeah, everybody tap the bottle before we
that
get
bottle.
in. Something I learned over on D Block.
You know what I mean?
We used to do a little prayer over it, but we won't go that far.
Hey, sometimes you need a little prayer.
Yeah.
Especially after that one we had last time.
You sure right. We should have prayed on that one.
151.
Let me
Damn.
smell that real quick.
Malibu rum.
That Florida Cana from Nicaragua, right? Mm-hmm. We just tasting all types of rums. We going across the world with it.
Ooh, I feel like we became the home of the rums on this podcast here. You feel me? Yeah, we have whiskey, and last time we had vodka, but you know we always have a bottle of rum with us.
Yeah, there you go.
It's always different. Always different.
Got to get our little taste test in. Try to see this drink of the week.
Yeah, not like last week.
Yeah, somebody was trying to kill everybody. Golly.
Damn.
But did you die?
I felt like it almost.
Point.
My life did flash before my eyes when I took that shot. Yeah.
Twice.
All right.
So another episode. Was this 22?
22.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Not as straight. It's got a little kick to it. Not too crazy though.
Yeah.
It ain't as smooth as Bumbu though.
Yeah, Mumble was a nice one.
But that-
one too.
You never drank the
He
Mumble?
he ain't been here for the Bumbus.
Both times, ain't it?
Yeah, cause cause we had it again with Two and Jay.
I'll taste it. Y'all still got more?
No.
No, we every
Not
time
gone.
that shit's a favorite.
Next time.
Yeah, I was thinking actually about buying some, but then I was like, nah, we ain't never tried this. I ain't never even seen this.
And we want to apologize for last week. Last week we didn't have an episode.
Oh, that's right.
I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, we didn't have an episode.
We already got our first scandal? Oh, shit.
Nah, we had me and Uncle D end up moving into new places, so you know we didn't get a chance to record and do what we got to do. But we are back and we are here and we are live. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do what we got to do as always.
Yeah, man. It's great to see everybody moving forward and doing good things, man. Let's do our little weekly check-in, man. How everybody doing?
Shit, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Enjoying the new place,
Enjoying
D?
the new place.
I ain't gonna lie. Should have started with a 2-bedroom from the beginning.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, it's all that extra
Told you.
space.
I
Yeah.
told you. You don't want to listen. Didn't want to listen.
I was trying to save money.
Yeah, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Until you realize you gotta spend money to save money.
True.
Kind of backwards, ain't it? You gotta spend money to save money.
It's better to spend it at the beginning so you save on the back end.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, you know, let me get a splash of that too, man.
Yeah, I'm not doing like last time.
What's that?
75% rum.
Oh yeah. Well, you couldn't help it with that.
25% juice.
What was it called? Satan's liquor.
Oh no! I think it was. I did 25% rum, 75% juice, and that shit was
And
still strong.
it just enhanced it. Because that's what happens
When you buy 151.
when you buy overproof rum and you decide to put something sweet. What happens next?
You want that?
You don't get defeated.
Man, they like we got a whole 10 minutes of niggas just passing bottles around. Hey, you go sit there and you gonna like it.
You gonna watch? 'Cause
Yeah.
I know what the conversation gonna be.
Yeah,
like.
you know, we gotta get situated, you know. We here to provide good quality.
Or y'all could just pour out some yourself.
Yeah.
And then
drink
join
up
us
with us. Yeah.
I mean, you gotta join us with the drinks
as long
too.
as you ain't driving, you
As
know
long
what I'm
as you're
saying?
home,
Yeah.
sitting down.
Don't drink and drive.
The niggas like, fuck it. Bloop, pull out a whole bottle of Pendleton or something. He said, hey.
They said. So
If
join
y'all-
them. So that's what I did.
If you are watching at home, join us with a drink. You feel me?
Sitting on your couch.
Sitting on your couch,
earphones in,
Join
roll you
us.
up one even, you know what I'm saying? Put one in there.
join us in this conversation. You feel me?
Yeah, man. So what we on this week?
I ain't gonna lie. Me and Taz been talking about how they don't make jingles like they do anymore.
Yo, jingles was the
Them
thing, bro.
Commercials changed so much.
Yeah.
They don't like the jingles used to make you want to go out there and buy the shit.
Yeah.
Now it's just
Just straight. It ain't the same. It don't. It's not intriguing or
What was
interesting
it?
to buy it.
I think they replaced jingles with the overtly trying to be comedic in their, you know, every commercial now is like extra like goofy. They don't have a real jingle no more. They're all trying to be like internet, like
Bro.
Vine-ish. You know what I'm saying?
everything had a jingle, bro. Everything.
Facts. We were just listening to that Mentos commercial. Makes you want to go ahead and buy Mentos, and that was back in what 1990? What is it? 1994, 1995? When they
Somewhere in the
somewhere.
90s, bro.
But shit, listening to that, it makes me want to buy Mentos. Like shit, makes you make your mouth feel fresh.
Yeah.
Can you even find Mentos anymore?
Yes.
See, that's how you know
went nowhere.
we're missing the jingles because this man don't know.
They definitely ain't went nowhere.
Mentos is still here, man. I see Tic Tacs got new chewies.
Chewies?
Yeah, they turn into gummies.
Edibles?
Not that type of edibles. They're just regular edibles. They're just gummies.
I bet you can find.
We'll talk about that after.
Oh, you know what? Before we get deep into this, man, I hope you see the do-rag on my head. We had a commenter, which we're not gonna make a thing of this, but I think it kind of threw us off for a loop. We had a commenter on one of our shorts talking about it. Oh, you want to teach the kids first, take that crap off your head or something like that, man. And let's talk to the part of the audience who probably don't know what these are for.
Facts.
You know, this doesn't signify anything, but I'm trying to be caring of my hair.
That's really what it is.
If you don't understand the culture, why speak on it?
True.
Let's be honest about it. I can't like there's a difference between not knowing and being loud and wrong all at the same time.
Facts.
You know, so shout outs to that random commenter, which I ain't gonna put my opinion on what type of person or who they probably are, which we all could probably guess what they look like. Let's just be honest. But listen here, if you gonna speak on what we got going on, at least try to get some understanding of what we got going on. There's a certain element of what we do, and that we unapologetically who we are. So
That's a fact. Educate yourself. Don't come out here making these comments and you're not really educated behind it, because at the end of the day, that's what the do-rag is made for. That's what my head wrap is made for. It's for my locks, to protect my locks. And once again, as y'all can see, I don't have it on today because I actually got my hair done. That's the reason why I've been wearing it, is because of my hair, how it was looking. So I wrap my hair, but it's also to protect your hairstyle. So always educate yourselves on what it's for before y'all make that comment. It
we
sounds
always
ignorant.
can't be all crispy like Shannon Sharp.
Facts.
You know, so and I wear mine just because I like wearing mine. Sometimes I just don't want to put a brush to my head, so I keep my do-rag on. So it goes back, man. Black culture is black culture. you don't understand black culture, maybe educate yourself a little bit on it before you start spewing things that obviously sound hateful, you know. And I'm gonna leave it at that before I start preaching, you know.
The one thing I want to say before anything, before y'all start making these comments, I need y'all to start listening to what we're talking about, because this ain't the first comment that we seen on it, on something that really and truly where we say something and nobody is really listening to the conversation. If y'all are out here making comments, I need y'all to really listen to what we're saying, because there's a lot of deep thoughts that we're talking about. There's a lot of deep things that we're talking about, and I know we seen it off of reels, but really on it, tap in with us, because then you're gonna realize where we're coming from with our opinions, what we are saying, so you could actually really make a true comment behind it. That's all I could say on that. On that, really tap in with us and see what the conversation is about before y'all make these comments, because sometimes I would look at it how I look at it as, y'all see a reel, y'all make a comment off of a reel or a click or a little snippet of what the conversation is, and y'all don't even know what y'all don't even know what it is full blown. You know what I mean? So that's all I gotta say on that.
Shout out to all the positive comments too. We
Yes,
do get
sir.
some. I mean, Pops, thank you, keeping that engagement going.
Facts.
To the people on TikTok, off of the random ones that are getting a lot of love on there. Yeah, man. There is people who engage, you know. To me, I realize, man, just me posting videos on TikTok. If you're looking for my TikToks, Archie, A.R.C.H.IE. Look me up on there. Anyway, I see people on my videos that I post. Video be up maybe a minute. You can tell they ain't listen to shit. They just be hating. You know, the motherfuckers just get underneath your shit just to say something crazy.
Clickbait.
Yeah, they just want rage baiting motherfuckers.
Oops. He rage baiting now.
Damn, I had to get that little bug flying around. My bad, guys. Anyway, people be rage baiting, man. They just want to. They just be, and they half the time they just saying stuff they don't believe. This particular comment, I can probably tell you, is from an older person who we just kind of ran by. We ran up on their algorithm, and because what we were talking about. And, you know, they partially agreed, but then they were like, the niggadom in this video is a little too strong. I can't agree too much. Look at them rags they got on their heads. Yeah, but yeah, shout out to all you positive guys out there, man. The goal is for me, and I'm pretty sure for them, is to get a conversation started. I mean, if you're having a conversation in the comments, that's cool. Everybody's gonna have different opinions about different stuff. We're just here to bring our opinions and try to create a conversation and create a thought process that lead people to look at things a little bit deeper when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to social issues that we choose to talk about and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, get in there, have your conversations. But in the community we're trying to build, we want to build a community that builds it like that. What's the best way to put it? We're trying to build a community that constantly grows, and so the only way you're gonna grow is if you have battle of ideas, and you know, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, man. But hate and nonsense, not welcome here. We're just gonna put it out there right now. We ain't gonna always reply back to every comment, but if we see something overtly hateful, best believe we're gonna be in there and we gonna have something to say back to you.
Yeah, because you know, I be checking the comments, and if y'all get a little too wild, I do got a little Holly and Mother Skunt for you. So go ahead and try it.
What did he say? I didn't understand. Holy shit. Yeah. Damn it, y'all speaking in y'all's native tongue and shit. Man, but anyway, not to get us off on too much of a deep conversation about comments, but it does have something to show with like kind of like the way society is today. People are just looking for something, you know, people are looking for attention in all types of ways, and You know, it don't matter if it's good or if it's bad. They gonna look for it, and best believe, I think you got the right ones. You know, if you want some bad attention.
I was about to say, no, I'm gonna leave it alone.
What are you about to say? Uncle D actually shy today, ain't he?
Yeah, he a little shy.
Uncle D actually shy.
It ain't no shot.
He said, "Nah, you know what? Let me say that."
If you, like I said, if I see some wild shit, I already got some words for people.
Yeah,
But
Nah,
like I
that
said,
clap
I try to keep it simple. Like I try to get people to talk about, you know, people just comment something and you never hear from them again. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah. Yeah, 'cause they just slide through just to say some bullshit
Say
and
some
then
shit,
roll out.
never report. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? Regardless if it's hate or whatever, it's good for our engagement. Boost us into the algorithm. Fuck it, let's do it.
Facts. So what were we doing? The fucking jingles. There was something else I was thinking about just now.
We should make a jingle, huh?
We could.
We should make a lyrically acclaimed jingle, huh? That might be fun.
An official intro.
Official lyrically acclaimed jingle.
We kind of did that right before it started. We were
They tried to bait me into spitting something. They didn't get it.
babe. I think it's in you.
Yeah,
You just need to let it loose.
I don't think Uncle D was about to spit just now.
Yeah, man.
Maybe one day. I don't know.
Uncle D spitting.
I heard you and AJ be wilding on the line.
Uncle D,
on
Uncle
the
D
phone with
be
each other.
wilding, bro. Uncle D be coming up with one-liners that turn into two-liners, and you go like, okay.
Yeah, we need at least one Uncle D's dirty rap tape. Oh, bro. All right, look. You know what? I'm just gonna jump off and say this shit. What do y'all think of this Kanye shit, man? You know, he just dropped that song Double H.
Ooh.
And you know, I ain't saying it.
Is that the Hitler shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uncle D said it.
Uncle D said
Uncle D said it.
yes, that
But
track.
Is it bad to say Hitler?
For some algorithms, yes. But nah, I mean, you can say Hitler. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I'm not saying the first age. Like,
Yeah,
shit.
no,
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Your
That
boy
his-
Kanye Wineland.
yeah. What do you think about? So, like, over the past few weeks, sorry, we all seen the random tweets, right? Now he's really like living in it, and he's with this streamer dude, Sneeko or something like that.
Yeah,
and he's like his lapdog or some shit.
You see, I don't know, like that.
So I only know about Sneeko through Abba and Preach.
Shout out.
Where did he come from? That's
Nico was.
He
I think
was
he's
one of them,
he's a content creator, ain't he?
Yeah, he.
From what I know from Sneeko, I think Sneeko started this thing when he had a female with him, and then after that, it just went left. Then all of a sudden, who he aligned himself with after, it just became one of them things where Sneeko. I could say he's more of a,
like I don't remember Fresh and Fit.
Fresh and Fit,
he was on there.
He was with them. He aligned himself with them.
Well, it's
and-
Fresh and Fit. Let's not
No.
even get started on
No,
that because
not
I can.
time.
There's something else that I kind of want to throw in here about one of the guys from Fresh and
but
Fit or whatever.
That's what Sneeko was, and then after that, really and truly, he's just running them. I find like a clickbait content creator too, like and what you call them, red pillars.
Yeah, that's what.
He's part of that red pill community.
Yeah, that shit crazy, ain't it? Well, so what I'm looking at right with this fucking Kanye shit, man, is that on what level do you think this is just all for attention? Like, how much of this, or do you think Kanye is? Because all right, at some point, it can't all be mental illness, right? This nigga gotta be at least.
I threw that mental illness shit out the window, bro. Like,
I don't know, bro. Like mental illness is one thing, but there's some, bro. To me personally, this has been a downhill spiral for a minute with Kanye, and it started off slowly, but now it's just like a rapid situation that I'm not even understanding where is this coming from.
Yeah, which he says, oh, it's the industry, and you know he has his reasons why he keeps saying the stuff he's saying, and I just can't, because Kanye used to be one of those guys. Even when he was saying crazy shit, I used to be like, yeah, but now he done crossed the line into where It's like,
He's in
all right.
uncharted territories right now.
Yeah, whenever you have Nick Fuentes agreeing with you,
Yeah,
that's
bro,
when shit's bad,
that's
bro.
wild.
Yeah, pretty much. And Fuentes calls him Hitler. I watched this video where he was like, "Yeah, Hitler called me and told me to come out to." It's like that. This dude is calling him now. He is going to places that he probably shouldn't. I don't know. But all right, I guess the bigger question I'm guessing is why. So like, even though he's crashing out in this way, have y'all noticed there's a bunch of people who are still willing to defend him? And like,
It always goes that way though.
you know what I mean? There's still even famous people, rappers and stuff that get around him.
Yeah,
These streamers and stuff.
But think about it. It's always going to go that way because somebody's going to. It's just like we always said. If one person think of it, somebody else is thinking of it. So I'm not saying that's how everybody is because a lot of people that's in his circle probably knows him better than they gonna know him better than we do.
Yeah.
So we're from the outside looking in of it. It's like, damn, bro, like what is really happening? He's crashing out. This is crazy. What he's saying on Twitter, what he's doing in music. This is on a different scale where it's like, what is we won't understand the true purpose of this whole situation.
Yeah.
But you're gonna always have fans, or you're gonna always have people that's in your circle or whatever that's gonna defend you because at the end of the day, they're always gonna see a different side that they don't want to give
The
up.
public eye don't see.
That exactly. So they're gonna always see that side, like, nah, bro, he's just probably going through something, or nah, you gotta understand. They're gonna always defend that because they know it. Either as fans, like all fans do, you don't see no harm in what your artist does because you idolize them, you admire them, so you can't see the wrong. You're blinded by what they are because it's Kanye or whoever.
Yeah.
You're blinded by it as a fan. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna always not look at the wrong. You're gonna say, nah, you don't understand that. He's the genius. He's just going through whatever, blah, blah, blah. And as friends and whatever, whoever don't see, they're gonna defend him because like, nah, you don't. You gotta understand Kanye, how Kanye is, and this. So that's how it really is, bro.
What you think, D? I see the wheels over there turning in your head.
I gave up on the man a long time ago, so
He said, I ain't got no words for him.
I don't like. I mean, we can say mental illness all we want, but how long you really gonna let it continue?
Yeah.
You ain't trying to get no help. If it's mental illness, why you not trying to get help?
Yeah, that's true.
The people around you ain't trying to help you.
Yeah, also true.
And then you said some
But
people around him is now starting to agree.
with what he's saying,
But the man's in the limelight.
But then again-
He got the most shine on him right now.
Because the crazy
So
thing
why
is,
not? If you want to get seen more, why not be around?
Be
him if
around-
You don't
yeah.
care how people feel about you.
exactly, that's true. That's what I was about to say. The crazy thing is, because Kanye's still technically one of the greatest producers in hip hop.
yeah,
One
he
of
still,
the
he still is. Nobody can't deny him of that.
yeah,
But you see, the thing about this is based off of just outlets, you could tell that Kanye went through a lot of shit. Kanye went through so much things with the whole Nike, with the whole Adidas deal, and I feel there's a lot of things that pushed him over the edge. But I can't tell you what pushed him to this threshold of
Yeah.
situations. I could understand, you stating your grievances in a way where the fact of the matter is, like you've been in business with somebody and then all of a sudden either one wrong or whatever happens, now all of a sudden they're cutting you off. You can understand that because now that's money being taken out. The family situation between him and his ex-wife and whatever, that's a whole different. You could see why a man can go over the edge on that way. This shit here,
yeah.
I can't see it. I can't understand it. The whole reference of the
Yeah, I'm
Hitler
trying to-
situation, the anti-Semitic.
Wearing
I can't
the
wear
Klan outfits.
I can't
all
understand
that-
that part. I can't understand. I can't.
Leave him where he is, bro. That's all you could do.
See, and I guess what really the Kanye thing is kind of like, to me, a sign of something bigger, because not only do you have nowadays people like Kanye who are coming out and feel comfortable enough to say this stuff. Go on Twitter, just any given day.
Well,
Go look on your For You page.
Twitter's a free for all.
It's a fucking crazy world over there. People are saying the most insane things all the time. And the crazy, I wait for famous people to be like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It seems like everybody want to have Elon's meat in their mouth, right? But what he's done is like all the people who have the craziest ideas have a platform now to say them. Like quite literally, like this Lily Gladys chick that was just on Piers Morgan with they had that panel. Mm-hmm. They had that panel where they were talking about, because I don't know if y'all heard about the stuff where that little boy, it was a little black kid.
Oh, the white lady was saying bad racist shit to him.
Yeah. So
what?
Yeah, it was. I didn't watch the full video. Like I just seen bits and pieces. But like I said, there was this white lady. I don't even know where they was.
some park. Yeah.
Started saying mad racist shit to a little kid, bro. And then afterwards, I see that because people was posting about it. She started like a GoFundMe type thing. Raised down there $1 million.
Yeah. She making money because, and it kind of, well, this is what I'm saying. It kind of puts a spotlight on like, oh, okay, people, y'all were just waiting for a chance to be able to say and do whatever y'all wanted. And like, so tying back in with the I don't know if y'all remember who Lily Gladys is, whatever her name is, right? She got famous on TikTok because she was just she was saying, nigga, like she was one of us. Like Chuskin was as chocolate as mine.
Yeah.
She was just using it, and trad wife looking white little girl, just using it. Anyway, she got famous, and she's sitting on Piers Morgan defending the fact that, oh, well, white America's been under attack for this and that. We can't say, well, we freedom of speech this, freedom of speech that. And Dr. Mark Lamont from that Be on the Joe Budden podcast was on there. And I feel like he crashed out a little too hard, but that's just an opinion. But from what she was saying and then how it was going, it's crazy because it just gets to a point where like, where are we in American culture? Because it seems like as a black man, right, I walk around every day, like everybody know my kids mixed, they half white. You know, I'm around white people, so I have this weird thing going on in my head where I'm like, I see a lot of this going online where there's just a bunch of hateful people. They're saying hateful stuff about blacks, Hispanics, anybody that ain't white, right? Or anybody that even fuck with black people or Hispanic people. Anybody, you know, they label them whatever hateful term they got. So in my mind, I'm like, there's this side of where I'm around people who I know are cool, and then like sometimes with my job, it takes me into places where I got to be around other people of opposite skin colors, and then I'm sitting there thinking like, because most of the people online, even though they're anonymous, they're real people. You get what I mean? So how many? I guess what I'm getting at is with Kanye and with this, and it seems like we are at a weird place in America. Like I get freedom of speech, but at what point is allowing somebody to just say whatever they want, not inciting violence on other people? Like, you get what I mean? Because no matter what you do, like, it doesn't. I don't know, man. It seems like we just in a weird, awkward place in our country with our culture.
It's crazy. Because I know, how can I put this? There's a lot of things that's allowed that, to me, shouldn't have been allowed. And that's within us as a culture, and that projected outside of the culture. Where I'm going with this is, let's, for instance, the N-word, right? We turned the ER to a GA because of people, because how it's predeemed that we use it as a term of endearment, that we came over the situation of what happened back in the day of slavery or whatever the case may be. The thing about this word is that at the end of the day, we allowed it in our community to say it as we got younger, as the younger generation came in. Older generation don't. That been through this is gonna look at you like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah,
do you understand? Do you understand what that meant? Do you understand what that mean? You know what I mean? Do you realize they use it against us or whatever? Blah, say blah. We use it as a term of endearment to hail up our partners and, like, you know, our friends, our boys, our brothers, and whatever the case may be. What end up happening is that when you allow that to seep into other cultures, it became that word that a lot of people, we can't control it, because at the end of the day, it's not our word. in a sense of we don't own it by right. There is no, this is just for blacks, really and truly. There is no claim that this is by law, this is just for us. So everybody is using that word for their friendships or whatever the case may be. The thing about this is everybody feels comfortable because of, oh, I gave this person a pass. I gave that person a pass.
Yeah, cookout.
You cook out.
Welcome to the cookout.
Once y'all
You know
started
what I mean?
that pass shit, that was it.
Once it started that pass, people feel the freedom of doing that. But as we had a conversation off air, was the fact of the matter is, you're not. People feel like they're cool to say that to us, but what derogatory term can we say to a Hispanic? That's okay. And I'm not going to say it on camera. I'm not going to say it.
But if we say it's a whole fight.
Yeah.
You can't say a derogatory term to a Indian. You can't say that to an Asian. You can't say that to even a white person. There's a lot of things that's been allowed that people gave pass to that now, when there's a freedom of it, we supposed to be okay with that. But the truth of the matter is, the word that is being used, the only way that could be shelved is the fact that we have to shelve it ourselves.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's the real shit.
I feel it's too late for that.
Yeah,
It is.
Because
but
you're not getting everybody on
You're not
board.
going to everybody to do that. But I'm just saying, like, because of this word, because at the end of this day, if you have to look at based off of dictionary, it just means ignorant, stupid person.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say a color. It doesn't say a race. It doesn't say none of that. It just says an ignorant, stupid person. So when people look at it via dictionary, it's fair game.
Yeah.
You understand? But at the end of the day, how it is that the fact that we've used it so much around everybody and around everybody else, and we said it based off of, yeah, these niggas do this and these da 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 da. Everybody feels like if you use it against a white person, you say, they probably might feel like, hey, he said it towards me. Can I use it? Or an Hispanic or Asian or whoever. So that's what I'm saying. That's where that comes into it, where the fact that this word, everybody plays off of it, because at the end of the day, if they're using it freely, why can't we? Because you don't call a Mexican or Hispanic any kind of derogatory term. I'm not, like I said, I ain't gonna say it on this on our channel. You know what I mean?
The respect is going. The
there ain't
fear
no
people
respect.
had trying to use the word is going. No one's throwing hands when they hear somebody use the word no more.
It's because it's so common now.
common.
Yeah, everybody's using it. So it's like, am I really gonna fight with you and cause more problems for myself?
But you know what? One thing I see is black people trying to reclaim it, right? Because it has gotten out of hand.
It's too
you
late for that, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, like, you see black people trying to reclaim it on some level, right? And then, like, you get like, because not everybody uses it in the same way, right? Let's be
true.
honest about that. Some people use it to try to entice you, like.
But that's why I go with that, is the fact that, man, even if we reclaim it, we have to dispose of it.
Yeah, we just lose it in our vocabulary.
We
period.
have to lose it because
and let
at the
them,
end of the-
everybody else use
Because
it.
at the end of the day, if we're gonna try to reclaim it, you're gonna get mad. Like,
There's no reclaiming it because it never started. Like, yeah, you changed 2 letters in the shit, but
No,
at the end of the day,
but
you're not.
That's what I'm saying. That was the whole purpose of that, changing the letters.
It's still.
I understand. That's why I said I understand you, but I said that was the whole purpose of it, was they changed the letters to make it of a term of endearment, more of a derogatory term. But at the end of the day, there is a restriction. Technically speaking,
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even feel. I didn't even feel. It wasn't fun using the shit anyways. Like, every time I use it, I felt like I was putting somebody down. Like, and I'm talking to my bros and shit. That's why I barely used the word for like years now.
You know,
Like, once in a while it might slip out, but it's not like every single sentence when I gotta greet somebody I'm saying it.
You know, for me, growing up, definitely as a growing up in Texas and here where from here, like, we use it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a part of that's kind of how I grew up. My parents used it, you know, I used it. Everybody I knew that was black used it. We wouldn't allow the same shit that's going on nowadays, right? And I don't want to put it on any generation who caused what's going on nowadays, but, like, as black Americans, right, we we used it. It was a part of our lexicon. It was a part of what we would call Black American slang.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I feel like through hip hop music, when hip hop becoming so big, you know, you got people already saying it. You got people who aren't black saying it while they rapping in their car when nobody else is around. And then you got when they at home, when they got their headphones in, they cleaning and shit. Nobody around to hear them say it. Sooner or later, they're gonna get emboldened enough to actually say it outside. And then you have people who are black who allow people to say it. Like, oh no, this my homeboy, man. Yeah, he got it. I feel like on some level, this shit has gotten to a point where you got two camps. You got some people who just who just don't care, because that's a lot of what this culture has come down to. Is like, I don't care. Nobody gives a fuck about nothing no more, right? And then you still got some people who are still at the front lines trying to hold up the meaning and what it means to be African American in our culture, right? And like, you have people who, and I feel like on some level, some people, like what I was saying, who use it, who aren't black, they use it in a way to troll. They use it in a way to get you mad, because once they get you mad, they're like, I got you. You know, look, you look just like what I thought you was. You know, a Hispanic dude call you that stuff, and then now all of a sudden you the bad guy because now you angry. But you know what I'm saying, white guy call you that, now you the bad guy because you angry. But it's never, oh, I'm angry because you over here, I feel like it's disrespectful. But then they turn around and be like, but y'all use it, and then you be like, well, fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it's like a double standard.
Yeah, because now what you said was right. It's a word in the dictionary, and there ain't no human who has a right on a word. Like, as black people, we can hold it dear to us and be like, nah, this is our shit. But in reality, it's anybody can say it, right?
And that's another thing. Why do we want it to be ours?
I think
when for the longest time it was used to put us down.
I think, look, from my perspective, because I've thought about this in both ways, right? I've tried to think about it in both ways. Why do I want to call my homeboy nigga, right? I grew up with it. It's just something I've grew up saying. But then you think about the history of it and how it was used to put people down, and then it's like, nah, I seen something today that was like, man, you go back in time, the same shit, like what, like, hey, that's my nigga right there. You'll hear a fucking white slave owner saying, yeah, that's my nigga right there. You know, so it's like, damn, it makes it put it in perspective, like, damn.
And then there's the same way, if you got to use it aggressive, it's still gonna sound the same way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for some African Americans, it is like it's looked at as a win. We were able to take that thing, which was so negative, and use it in a way that brought it, like Tupac, right? Tupac's album, strictly for my niggas, right? I think Tupac's mentality, I'm not a Tupac expert, but I kind of am. I think Tupac's mentality, in the way, if you listen to the way he talks and you listen to his interviews and when he's on his pro-black shit, right? It's like, you call me this, you think I'm this thing, so I'm gonna be that thing, right? Mm-hmm. So this is what you think I am, so blah blah blah. That's the whole Thug's Life thing, right? So like they look at us, no matter how successful we are, no matter how productive we are, no matter how much we clean ourselves up and put a suit and tie on and walk out in public, there's still people out here, if we don't use the term or not, that's what they gonna see us as. So I think in some form or fashion, it's a win, because like, yeah, now we've took the power out of it.
Yeah.
Now you can say that, but there ain't no power to it no more. But at the same time, there is still power to it, because you let the wrong person call you that, then you got a situation on your hands.
And that's something else. Is basically like a safety thing, because now people can use it against you to set you up.
Exactly.
Like you said, white people, any other race use it. You get mad and you hit them.
Yeah, and all they said was a word. Now you in jail.
The whole brawl starts. They say, especially if it's a white man or there's a white person, they use it. What are you gonna say? Oh, he said they called me a nigga.
Yeah.
They
They still locking your ass
Yeah,
up.
because there ain't no such thing as hate speech laws.
Yeah.
You
But
can say whatever you want.
Remember that saying, "Sticks and stones may hurt me, but was it
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
At the end of the day, here's my thing. With that reference there, the one thing I could say is this, and like I said, we and you talked about this off camera.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of, if you was going to use that word, if this was the term of endearment, you should only use it with your friends. Don't go outside of who you're, in a sense of your black friends and whatever the case may be. Don't go outside using it.
Yeah.
Because if you go outside using it, it's a public situation now.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm looking at my Hispanic friends or my white friends or my Indian friends and I go like, yo, that's my nigga right there, da, 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 da. You're pretty much opening that door.
Yeah.
Because you already said it. That's who they are to you.
That's what I never. Anyone outside of even though I barely use it with my boys, I will call if somebody's outside like Mexican, whatever race they are. That's my boy. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna call
that's Brody.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Dylan
Brody,
uses my boy a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That's how the problem starts. Because at the end of the day, when you start using it for everybody else, you know what I mean? Because if we're reclaiming it, it's only supposed to be for us. It's like an exclusive thing. Yeah. If you're reclaiming it,
that's what it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be for us. You can't use it outside of that because at the end of the day, now it gives free range.
Look,
you know what I mean?
And even more on that, I think stop getting mad when motherfuckers say it. Stop. Because you know what? Like D just said, it's a trap. They trapping you, bro. I don't care how cool the motherfucker is. Look, I'm 100% sure a dude, everybody, like, you could be cool with him, and all of a sudden one day he just walk up and he, in his mind, he may be ignorant to the fact like, oh, well, I thought we was cool like that, but no, he testing the waters. He trying to see something. You know what I'm saying? He dapping you up to see if you gonna check it or not. And a lot of people fold. Let's be honest. A lot of people fold like a goddamn lawn chair, dog. They be. It's happened to me before. It's happened to me. I walk up to one of my Hispanic homeboys one time, and he dapped me up, and he, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Hey, man, you my nigga." I'm like, what? I didn't know what to do in that moment. I had to sit there for a minute and be like, well, what just happened? First off, am I going to say something? How am I going to react to this? I had to pull him off to the side and be like, man, that ain't cool, bro. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't say you could. I don't want to be. That's not what. That ain't what we doing here, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey, see, and I got an experience with that. With the fact that the man's me and I'm gonna say a shop rep. I ain't gonna put out what happened, but me and the shop rep talking. Me and him got comfortable. We talking da 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 da, and he used it. But the thing about it is, he realized I didn't pick. I heard it. But I'm in the moment of me and him having a conversation. I realized homeboy got comfortable, and then he come back and say, you know, I gotta apologize for what I said, because at the end of the day, you know, what I mean, I shouldn't have used that word or whatever the case may be, and I respected it because at the end of the day, he acknowledged it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, to me, I'm gonna go off of what Uncle D said. The word is a word. Sometimes you don't have to put an action behind that word. Mm-hmm. You don't have to swing on somebody or go like, what you just said? You don't have to get aggressive with it. You could address that appropriately and go like, yo, brother, can I pull you to the side? I don't feel comfortable with you using this word. Hey, man, you can... Well, around me, that's how it is.
Let me flip it on his head real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me flip that on his head real quick. Because as much as we want to put faith in other people, I want to say, to be honest, and what I've seen and what I know of the history of the people with skin color like me, we are some forgiving motherfuckers. We tend to be. We went through slavery and all we did was march and shit, and we were like, we want equality. Yeah. We don't want to get back. We don't want to do that shit. The only time we ever really got back was when motherfuckers when people were trying to hurt on us and burn down our neighborhoods and shit like that. We move on. We move on pretty quick. How much? And this is where I guess I'm playing devil advocate to the more militant ideals, right? Is like, how much disrespect are we supposed to be allowed to take? You know what I'm saying? Because let's say if we stop getting mad and now motherfuckers feel like they have the free reign to say it. So now, even if they saying it in a negative way, right? Again, I'm playing devil's advocate, right?
Yes, sir.
So even if I'm playing, if a motherfucker saying it in a negative way, am I supposed to not have some type of feeling or emotion about it? Because now, like bringing it back to the Kanye West shit, you got people openly saying Nazi stuff about Jews.
Yeah.
How much longer until they're openly walking around saying stuff and hateful stuff about? And what, as Black Americans, what do we do? You know what I'm saying?
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. I'm not going to tell you not to retaliate. It all depends on how that situation handled, how that situation goes. Because here's the thing. What I just said there's people that will sit down there and understand where you're coming from. You understand me? There's people that will sit down there and understand, you know, bro, my fault. You know what I mean? I don't want to, no problems. I'll get where you're coming from. There's people that will be more sympathetic in what you're saying. Now, I ain't pushing nothing, but I can't tell a man what he's gonna do if a man comes back and act ignorant to your response. If I'm coming to you calmly and like, hey, I don't like X, Y, and Z, please, in front of me or whatever, I don't want it. And then you start acting ignorant, I can't tell a man what he's gonna do after. Because at the end of the day, now you showing me that you're disrespecting me.
Yeah.
Now you're showing somebody that you're disrespecting them in front of them. You know what I mean? So at that point, whatever happens next, you already is a warning shot already that's been happening. I already warned you, like, hey brother, I don't like this. I'm not approving this or whatever the case may be. Please, can you please not do that around me?
Yeah.
And if that person comes and say, man, X, Y, and starts saying more disrespect, is that man wrong? I can't tell you yes or no, because at the end of it, to me personally, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
If I told you already stop doing something in front of me, and then you keep doing it, now I already know you show me the disrespect. We on a different level with this. No matter friend, foe, whatever, you're showing me that you feel like it's right to disrespect me after I've told you you're disrespecting.
Yeah, because everybody is allotted a certain amount of respect.
That's a fact, and the respect is earned, not given. You feel me?
Yeah.
And if I'm showing you respect, if I'm not calling you no such a things, if I'm not giving you derogatory terms, if I'm not calling you that, and I'm actually not to do that to me, why would you do that?
Yeah.
My bad.
No, you good.
Yeah.
Like
Interject.
Going back to what you were saying about people folding, I can say, like, I had a situation happen, one of my first jobs here. Not first jobs, but basically I'm the only black guy in the company at that time. And, you know, we all outside working. It's a bunch of Mexicans, some whites. And we in the group, we all fucking around. I heard white boy say, he was having a conversation with somebody else. I heard him say, yeah, that's my nigga. Everybody stopped, got silent. I turn around, I look, they're all watching me now.
Yeah. And I hate that feeling.
That's facts.
Yeah, you be like,
what are you about to do?
Yeah.
I just looked at him. I was like, took a deep breath, because for some reason, something told me just take a deep breath. Just for some reason, let it go.
Yeah.
And I just had to walk it off, because for some reason, it felt like a setup.
Yeah. Yeah.
It happened real quick. It was like, yeah, that's my nigga. Everybody went silent. I turned around. I'm looking at everybody. Everybody just looking at me like, "What are you gonna do?"
I feel
they was waiting for you to act.
That's
like
the reaction.
Yeah,
because once you're the black guy there, they expect, and that's crazy enough. That's what they expect to happen.
It's like a Chinese fucking finger trap. Yeah, bro. You fucking just stuck. You real shit.
See, and when I was talking about setups, like I was cool. Like the whole time I'm working, and this is damn near a year into the job. I'm cool with everybody. You know, they happen to show me some of their personal toys that they carry around in their car.
Yeah.
So if I did something,
I got out of character. Yeah, what would have happened?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So plain.
There's no guarantee I was going home that night.
Yeah. Which is real. Sometimes you gotta have self-preservation. Yeah, that's you gotta know when and where. You know, me and Taz were talking about it. There's a time and a place for everything. Yeah.
That's a fact. I was gonna ask, did you talk to him one-on-one?
I haven't talked to him after that. And after that, I never heard no one use the word. That was the first and only time in the whole year I worked there.
No.
The only time I heard anyone say nigga.
See, and
you know what's crazy about that? Because the fact of the matter is that could happen, and then they look at the black person, and then after that, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, we fucked
It's
up.
like they know they fucked up. It's like, nah, we can't do it. Like, it's crazy.
I
I'ma
just
tell
shook
you
my
for
head.
real.
I took a deep breath, shook my head.
Yeah, because
I
you know
walked
what?
away,
Because they know that could be an HR situation.
It's not even about that, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I could say like people in your people. I could say people in Texas different. Like,
Yeah.
ain't nobody scared of HR, bro. People willing to do shit. And
Yeah, go
Just
and look.
deal with it
That's what
after.
I was about to say. Because look, think about our Jamaican friend, right?
Yeah.
Where he was working at, and all the stories he said.
Yeah.
That was a crazy situation. This man from Jamaica, he ain't even a born American, and still get that type of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look. One thing I know, being born and raised in West Texas, and definitely working in the type of line of work that we do, you know what I'm saying, when we ain't podcasting and bringing y'all great entertainment, we work in a place that is dominated by people who already look at us as some type of way. We are the minority anywhere we go. We are the minority definitely here in West Texas. We're the minority out in the fields where we work at. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of people out there who think some type of way. I know for a fact, whenever I first went out into the fields, and matter of fact, my first oil field job, right? My first oil field job, I worked at this company, and I was the only black guy there. And when I tell you, you could just feel the like, fuck this guy energy when I walked through the door. Every day I showed up, but one thing I did, I showed up despite of it, because what they wanted to do was they wanted to run me away. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to use whatever tools in their basket they had to try to get me to act a fool, act the ass. You know what I'm saying? And whenever I did get the chance to act the ass, I did it off clock. And the best thing about it was there was a white guy there to back me up, be like, "Hey man, you tripping?" To the other guy, he told me I was tripping, but he also put the other dude in check. You know, but on that same level though, right? It's like down here you're gonna get tested. Your metal's gonna get tested, and you got to learn how to push back down here. I'm telling you, there's ways I've learned how to fucking, do my own, get my own get backs without having it being physical. Like because there's times where I've had people of different races talk to me crazy, thinking this, and all I do is they don't expect me to bounce it back to them. Like, oh yeah, you didn't you to get here, or man, I know looking at, they ain't talking to me. I've learned how to reply, and then they sit there and be like, well, fuck, like I tried my best to get him to fold, but that he stood on business, and then all of a sudden they want to, hey man, how you doing? Hey, yeah, get that bull crap away.
Other than that one time, no one's really tried to test me like that. Like,
bro, you are a big man.
I don't think nobody want to test you, bro.
Yeah, even though you are gentle and quiet, and bro, you probably intimidate a lot of people
they call
walking
him
through
Uncle
the door.
D, but they also call him Black Bear for a reason.
Yeah,
like the way that man.
nigga, you can
Look at your hands, bro.
Face. What you say?
What you say about me?
Just bouncing them.
Walking through Walmart, you say I look like a bodyguard or something.
Bro, the man, you should see the man walking like he Diesel, like yeah. Like if you look at
Nothing but fat on the sweater,
bro.
Everybody like, excuse me.
But no,
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Nobody knows that it's just fat, but first and foremost, it's not fat, because if we got to talk about it, we seen the strength that you have.
Yeah,
we gonna leave it like that. We seen the strength that you have, so we gonna leave it like that.
Yeah, man. I think what. Look, I raised this question to get to a deeper point, which is, at what level should we take the N word out of hip hop, or should we leave it in?
It's damn near part of.
It's part of the culture.
It's a part of what it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Every song,
yeah,
is gonna slip up sometime. You might not want to use it, but guess what? It fits.
That's better than personally. Like
50% of the words you want to use.
I'm gonna agree with Uncle D said. It's too late.
Yeah, you're right.
If you're supposed to take this out, you're supposed to take this out from the beginning.
Yeah, the 90s, early 2000s. Maybe.
That's when it's supposed to be taken out. It's too late now. It's just the fact of you have to sometimes mitigate a situation at this point, because at the end of the day, once again, there's a lot of people that's going to use it no matter if we try to or not. We just have to know how to respond, and we have to know how to respond correctly. Not everything has to be an act of violence. Not everything has to come out as a rager. Because like I said, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah, don't let nobody trick you out your spot, bro.
Because that's really what it is. It's clickbait. Like how we see it here. Excuse me.
And that's
It's really it's really a clickbait situation in real life. People will say certain things because at the end of the day, because for me, I'll put it like this. There's hatred towards race that, literally speaking, are generational, but it's not really personal. And that's the facts of it. And that's a deeper situation. Race is more, the racism of situation is more generational than really personal. Because at the end of the day, if this is what you are taught, if this is what you have learned in your household from your grandfather, your great-grandfather, and going back, you're going to teach your kids and going forward the same way until they can either see it for themselves of, no, this person of whatever race is not what you tell me they are. But it is generational.
Yeah, because
You understand? So at the end, so that's why I say what I say about it. You can't allow words to just harm you all the time. You just have, sometimes you got to look at it. You have to mitigate your situation, and sometimes you got to walk away. There's certain situations I know you can't walk away because at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, it's gonna get aggressive, and you're like, you know what? You got to handle your business how it is. I'm not telling you how to, but you got to handle business how it is.
Yeah.
But this is the world that we this is the world we live in, bro.
for real.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm sure people out here, especially with the limited amount of black people there is already, they get around a cool black person that really gets to understand and see that they ain't what they heard about.
Yeah.
And
that's happened to
and
me
all of a
multiple
sudden-
times.
And that's what changed that, and that's what really changes the situation.
You know what? Let me expound a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because look, sometimes I don't know how to feel. Right? Whenever I've been told that, like, oh man, you've changed the way I think about people, black people, or damn man, you a really good black guy. Like, it's almost being called like you the
Out of all of them,
yeah.
you're one of the
It's
good
like
ones.
what do you like? What, like, it's like, yeah, you know what, you see that you're changing some idea in somebody's head. You see you changing somebody's perspective, but deep down in the core, it's like, damn, it makes me realize, like,
That's what
man, people really don't like us. Like, you know what I mean?
But
it's crazy.
It's like, if you're not around a certain race and all you do is watch TV and hear about them,
Yeah.
it's gonna,
Yeah.
people
But
gonna
that's-
go off of that.
That's
why,
true.
but that's why I said what I said. It's generational, because if your grandfather taught your father that we are bad people, your father gonna grow up thinking that, seeing us, we're bad. We're
Yeah.
not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to this and that or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go back forward, your father gonna teach you the same situation until you encounter us. Then you're gonna realize, like, yo,
Yeah.
what you mean they not bad people? He just invited me over to his crib, and his mama just made me a big plate of food, and then you're like, what the hell? What are you talking about?
Or you ever see when somebody of the other race, they hold the door slightly open for you, say thank you, and they got a surprise face on their
Yeah.
Yeah, because once
Yeah.
again, it's what you're taught until you really see it for yourself. And that goes back to everything, like, literally speaking, I'm going to go back to what we said with the mental health situation. If you're living vicariously off of somebody else's experience, you will never know what your experience will be.
Yeah.
And that's the facts of it.
Yeah.
You can't tell me how to deal with certain races and individuals until I have dealt with them myself.
Yeah.
You understand? I can't come and say every white person, every Hispanic person, every Asian, every Indian is a horrible person until I've dealt with them myself. And then once again, it doesn't matter what race. There is good and bad in every race.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, there is good and bad in everything. So you're gonna meet individuals that will sit up there and say, "How you doing? How's everything going? You're good. You seem kind of off. Do you need a time? Do whatever." You're gonna have that. Then you're gonna have like, "Well, fuck that nigga."
Yeah.
Fuck that person. Fuck this. Fuck that. It's like, I don't got time for that. You're going to see good and bad no matter what race you are. There's good and bad in every race, but you have to have that experience for yourself to judge and decide, am I going to deal with X, Y, and Z person? Not the race, with that person, or if I'm not. And that's really what it is. You can't come and put us all in a hole because your grandfather did it, your great-grandfather said, because at the end of the day, it was taught through slavery and through all of that, which, if you had to go back to it, is a lot of situations that is taught, but there's secrets that is hidden behind that.
Yeah. Yeah, mixed kids didn't just start in 2025. Let's be real. Yeah, they've been around for as long as humans been around. Let's be honest.
Shit, they saw a piece of black meat and said,
Hey, for real.
Let's be real. That's the truth of it, bro.
And for real, like honestly, I be thinking about this stuff because again, my kids are half. My kids are half white, half black. And I'm of the type of mindset of like you're gonna walk at this earth. The most majority of people are gonna look at you as black, regardless, right? No matter what, no matter if you for most mixed kids, right? I realize that you can have been raised by your whole ass white side of your family, but the world gonna still see you and perceive you as black, no matter what. Even if you have the same cultural ideas as a white person, right? And hell, black people do it to mixed kids too, like, right? We hold mixed kids at this crazy standard. But I look at it because, like, man, my kids have to go out into this world one day, and just like when I was a kid, I had to have a talk. I know I have to have a talk with them, right? Like, hey, there's people out there that ain't gonna like you. There's this and that, and that, and it just makes me wonder, like, how do I say? Because I don't want them growing up hating one side of themselves. Because like it would because now you can't hate something that you're a part of, because then you start feeling some type of way about yourself, and then you start overcompensating in other aspects, right? I don't want my kids to ever feel like, but also I don't have control over what other people do out in the world. All I can do is, I guess, try to prepare my kids for the best of situations and the worst of situations. And when I see stuff like this on the internet and stuff like this in reality, which, to be honest, sometimes reality don't reflect the internet. The internet is a ruthless place, but that's because people can be anonymous on there.
White noise, baby.
Yeah.
Can't worry about the internet. If you see something on the internet, it's like, even if you argue back with it, most likely that person is, even though they could understand and they could probably have the same idea as you, but you know, like I said, the internet one makes you another person. You
know what? And I've been entertaining this idea, like, some people are honestly just straight up trolls. It could be a black guy behind that account.
If you too scared,
which is crazy.
If you're too scared to put your public information out there, then I don't care. If you gotta come up as anonymous or some weird ass profile,
some weird name with a weird name.
I don't care what you gotta say, bro.
Yeah, see, and which is true. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see what you look like. Let me see your lifestyle so I can roast your ass.
Yeah, a lot of shit on definitely on X or Twitter is fucking bots anyway. Yeah. But I guess what I'm getting at is, man, I really everything I think about and everything I do always tends to come back to my kids, is because my life, I'm already in my 30s.
Yeah.
And I already know how I operate. For me, I'm like, you can call me whatever you want. Don't put your hands on me. You know what I'm saying? Don't touch me.
That's exactly how I like to.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like, people could get aggressive all they want. I'll stand there with my hands behind my back. I'm just waiting for you to swing.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to touch me.
That's a fact.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
If it's one thing, I know I could take the first hit.
Yeah.
If you cannot lay me down in the first hit,
if you can't knock me out, you got a problem.
And I think sometimes because I know how passionate, like, people of our skin color can be. We're passionate people regardless. We're passionate about a lot of things.
I think we're just too nice, bro.
We are too nice, and we think the world is out. But we need to build a barrier between a waypoint, at least, between us and the world. Because just like the do-rag thing, it's like,
Bro,
Like the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Is like I said, it's part of our culture. We don't need the world to accept our culture.
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
it's
We need
what
a
we do.
waypoint.
Like,
Yeah.
Asians got their thing.
Yeah.
We're not there like, oh, you gotta make us understand.
Yeah.
That was funny.
How your shit goes.
Yeah.
And Spanish people is the same thing. They
Yeah.
got their culture.
Yeah.
We're not here trying to.
Yeah, exactly.
Take
At some
over.
point, we need not to give a fuck. Is
Let
exactly
people do
the
their
truth.
thing. We got our culture. Let's keep it with us.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I say. We need a waypoint. That's something me and Spiff were talking about. Me and Spiff were talking about, man, like I'll bring it back to Pac and the Strictly for My Niggas album.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote that album for exactly what it says, for young black people, young black males going through the system, trying to just navigate, trying to live through the ghetto.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Back in the 90s, we all know it was a crazy time.
Yeah.
You got homeboys slanging, you got homeboys banging, people ending up dead or in jail, and you as a young black, you're trying to figure out how to navigate through life. It's something that a lot of white people, Mexican people will listen to that album and be like, nah, this shit cold. But for a person who's been through stuff like that, it's different. It's because it's a cultural thing. It's kind of like Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. You know what I'm saying? It's a cultural thing. There has to be some type of barrier where sometimes some of this stuff got to be strictly for us. And then there's certain things we allow other people to do, but we've let our culture push and pull everything so far. Hip hop is probably the biggest example of that. Without hip hop, think about how big hip hop is. Think about it. It's worldwide.
It's global, bro.
Global. Some kids, some ashy lipped kids in New York started this shit.
Facts. Here's the thing.
You know what I'm saying? Some black ashy lipped kids in New York started this shit, and it's become something fucking. The world can't. It's almost like crack. The world can't get enough of it. You know what I mean?
The style of hip hop, no matter where you go. Like, I was showing you, in Japan, hip hop goes crazy over in Japan.
Yeah.
Like,
Shit, and soca and reggae go crazy in
that's
Japan
too,
too.
like,
Russia too. Look,
Russia
I seen
too.
Russian rappers. I was like, what?
Here's the thing, and it's plain what it is. Sometimes I feel a lot of this thing is gonna get a little thing. Sometimes I feel a lot of this thing is jealousy. The reason why I say that is because we turned something that probably was corny to individuals and made it look cool.
when has?
But that's
bro,
what-
but no,
everything-
no, real shit.
Everything black people do
We make
is cool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It could be
That's
the
what I'm
simplest
saying.
of shit,
like,
bro.
let's be real.
Wearing bonnets.
'Cause let's be-
let's be honest. The whole world wearing bonnets
Bro,
now.
you could wear a bonnet outside and no one will say shit.
Well,
to
what
you,
I'm
bro.
saying is this. Yo, lyrically acclaimed about to be different.
Hey, we finna start selling head merch, bro. Do rags, bonnets.
It don't matter.
Get your official.
What I'm saying is, if you have to think about it, if you got to think about it, this way shit got controversial. If you got to think about it, why a white man want to do blackface? Why?
See, that's the weird thing, bro.
No, that's why I said it's jealousy. Because you got to think about it. You can't come and say you hate this. You can't come and say you hate this.
But you sleeping with our
then paint yourself
Then go
black.
paint yourself up.
Think about
Yourself
that.
Black, sleep with our women.
You see what I'm saying?
Take our style.
Take
our
styles,
music.
take mute. You see what I'm saying? It's because at the end of the day, if you didn't do it and you found out like, yo, we made it cool. When you think about it for everything else, they said about athletes. Think about it.
Majority
The
black
coldest, besides really and truly, besides
Hockey and NASCAR,
besides
the only
Larry
one.
Bird. Tell me which one is the coldest? Besides Larry Bird, which is one of the white guys that was really
Steve
there?
Nash.
Yeah, I was about to say Steve Nash.
and
Oh boy, yo, they just got traded from the Mavericks to the fucking Lakers.
cool. You see, but here's the thing. You see how the generations jump?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Now come and tell me.
There's about 1,000 black
Now tell
folks.
me in between that, AI, Jordan, Kobe, Shaq. You see, and the list could go on. James.
I mean, you can name every
Ja
player.
Morant. Yeah,
You can name the
You
bench.
can
like,
name it.
Chris Paul,
Zion
yeah.
Williams. You can name it, but in
Kevin
generations.
Durant. Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can
But-
say it for sports because
But that's what I'm saying. It's a
I like NASCAR. Like NASCAR, black people are you know, getting seen more in that sport, and that was majority white.
Yeah.
Who's the?
One of the, well, I guess they said it was like one of the most racist sports.
Well, that's because it was more of a hillbilly redneck thing, you know.
Bro, that's
F1. F1. One of the coldest guys that's there from Grenada. From where we from. F1 on top, ain't it?
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? It's to me sometimes. But what I'm saying is sometimes I've always look at this as sometimes is more of a jealousy thing, because if you look at it, we make a lot of things look cooler than you think it was.
We turn up everything.
We
put
turn
a
up
little
everything
swag on it.
We put a little spice.
Like our food,
put a
little flavor.
spice.
You ain't lying, because with F1, when Lewis you see when Lewis Hamilton pop out, this man best dressed out of everybody.
What Kendrick says, sometimes you gotta pop out and
showing it.
Exactly.
Hey, boy. Look, and honestly, and I say this with the best intentions, right? When I say this stuff. But it's the truth, man. We gotta gatekeep some things.
Sometimes
we can't keep giving and providing the shit that pushes culture forward. Why not? Sometimes, why? TikTok, for example, my favorite example. Every time black folks come up with some new shit on TikTok, there's always other cultures that take off with it. And then they don't want to credit us for it, or they discredit us for it.
It's free game, bro. You put it on the internet, it's free game.
Yeah, it's over with.
You can't say this is a black thing when the internet could swoop it up in seconds, bro.
But at the same time, let me step out wearing a cowboy hat and some boots and all that shit, and they be like, "Oh, you trying to dress like this?" Nah, I'm doing what y'all do, right?
But
you know what I'm saying? At the same time,
ain't there a culture for the? I don't know where it is. I know I've been seeing it pop up lately, once in a while. Probably down in Houston, they got some.
Yeah. Which is true,
and I love to see that shit. I actually want to go and see and experience that, bro.
Look, honestly, I could be fact checked on this because I could possibly be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but black cowboys were the term for black and Hispanic guys who helped the cow hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, on ranches. They would call them cowboys. A cow hand was the white man. They were cow hands. The term cowboy actually comes from it was just a way to level down. You know what I'm saying?
Shit got cool.
Until this shit got cool.
And everybody's a cowboy now.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we can go definitely in Texas history. There's black people been a part of American history every which corner you turn. From the Civil War to World War I, up until today, man, we're everywhere. There's just a thing you can't deny, and I think that's just the point.
The whole process.
And look, and that's the point. Is for some reason, at the end of the day, no matter what we do, we can be. That's like what I was saying earlier. We could be on our best game, or we can be on our worst behavior. We always gonna be looked at the same to somebody. Somebody always gonna be looking at us like.
Why are we helping?
I think, to be honest, I think there is a big movement of people right now who are African American descent here in this country who are like, you know what? I'm done. We just gonna sit in the background. We're gonna let y'all do y'all thing while we do our own thing. Which on some level I agree with, but then it gets to that there's also black people that are segregationists, which is crazy to me. It's like
lead them on the other side too. We need to just create in silence. Bro.
Yeah. I don't like the conversation around. Oh, we need our own sides of town. We need our own. It's like
we don't need to go back that far.
Yeah, motherfuckers is trying to take it way back.
Let's create in silence and spread shit throughout our own community by word of mouth, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's just be us, and at some point, it'll leak. But hopefully, by that time, we'll be on to the next thing, Mm-hmm. And I think that's the importance of underground, the underground scenes.
And I'm gonna say something. For us to happen, we gotta support each other.
Yeah,
which black people don't like to do for some fucking
on some real
shit, real talk,
on some real thing. We gotta support each other.
Mm-hmm.
If any, and I'm gonna look to the camera for this one. If y'all want change, the way to seek change is by supporting your neighbor, your friend, the stranger that's like you. You can't sit up here and expect change to happen, and then don't support the guy that's doing something to change the situation. You understand? And that's really what it is. We got to start supporting one another, because at the end of the day, there's always a conversation of the Hispanics could come together in one house and everybody hold a household together until one person could get the house, the next person could get the house, the next person get the house, until everybody get their situation. Italians could do it. Asians does do it. We seen it in New York. What happens with a Chinese store and all that thing pop up is all family members come together and support one
That's
another.
down here in West Texas.
And down here too, and wherever they go. And it's the facts.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's come from support. When you start looking at your boy and your boy doing something and you looking for discounts and you start looking for shit, that's not support. You gotta start supporting one another no matter what the situation is. That's how you grow your community. Start supporting one another. Stop looking down at each other. Oh, because he got this and I don't got it. No, fuck that, bro. If he got it, ask that man what's the blueprint. Figure out the blueprint so me and you could be on the same page. And that's really what it is. That's how we could build this community that we talking about in silence. Ask one another. Each one teach one.
And another thing, people just think that because one person started this thing, that they ain't gonna be no money if they start a second one.
Fuck that, bro.
Yeah.
Gucci ain't Gucci if they didn't go from Louis ain't Louis, right? Louis and Gucci, Louis and Gucci still in up here. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Like,
Louis, Gucci, and Fenty, they all here,
like
and then we all in fashion,
I
bro.
get name brands and all that.
No,
stuff,
what I'm,
bro.
but it's not the fact that I'm saying that. The fact of the matter is,
I was gonna bring up something else.
I know, but what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, the money, so everything's here. If you doing something, we gotta show support. If you doing something, we gotta show support. If I'm doing something, y'all gotta show support. That's how it grows. At the end of the day, they always said it in every culture. There's enough money to go around.
Yeah.
There's enough everything to go around. Population, what if you want to look at it, popularity, money, whatever. Houses are out here that's free. There's houses out here that's still that's abandoned like a motherfucker. There's communities that's abandoned like a motherfucker. There's everything to go around. Support one another. Let's grow.
Yeah.
That's the only way to grow. If one man do it, ask that man, bro. Woman, ask that woman how she does it. You don't have to be a pay system. Just ask them like, yo, how do you do this, bro? I don't need a discount. I don't want to know how you did it. Ask the right questions and then go from there. And that's how you grow as a community, and so people could look at you different. Point blank. Everybody else is doing it. Why can't we do it?
Yeah, real talk. What was your point you were gonna make?
Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
You got Taz passion.
I apologize.
Nah, I'm trying to recall what the hell I was about to say.
I'm just saying.
Nah, but it's like I said, the same support thing. Even going back to, remember the whole pro-black thing, we gonna support all black businesses, but now everybody want discount.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
And
saying.
everybody just expects you to come to their business
Expecting it.
expecting. The thing is with me is like, I'll support you, but if your shit ain't quality,
That's
yeah.
Yeah,
If
that's
it's not
different.
quality,
That's different.
Let's call it out for what it's not.
that's different.
Yeah, if
I'll
I
buy
would be
from
real with you,
but
yeah,
if you telling me you're trying to sell me the same thing as someone else and
That's
your shit's ass,
yeah,
that's
that's
I'm
real.
right.
I'm gonna go where the
gonna waste my
best
money?
stuff is. Yeah,
man, that's facts.
Yeah,
That-
'cause
I
real
agree with
shit.
that.
like put your quality up so I could buy from you. I want to,
yeah, because
but now you selling me some cheap shit, and you just expect me to be okay with it,
Yeah.
just because you black. Nah.
Yeah. See, and boy, that's a real thing, man. We gotta stop that shit because people are grifters. Every race, every situation has grifters. They'll see a situation and they gonna capitalize on it. Oh, black people getting together. I'm a hustler.
That's
It
exactly
don't
what
matter. It
happened.
don't even matter about skin color.
Soon as
I'm just
everybody
out
said
there trying to get money.
Black owned business come by from me. Like, no, what's your quality?
You gotta know
looking
what
like?
it is.
Yeah, let me see. Let me. Oh,
Like, I don't care.
you selling
I
T-shirts?
ain't
Are
care
they
about-
good T-shirts? Can I rock this for a long period of time?
Are they gonna last after one wash?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
You selling?
That's a fact.
You selling paintings? Are you like what's up with your? You know, I know art is subjective, but come on, bro. It look like my 2-year-old could do that shit. You know.
That's facts.
At the same time, it's just like, man, which is real. We got to hold ourselves to a standard too. I think that's one thing that we do as a culture. Sometimes is which Lord knows, I'm about to say this word and it's gonna piss a lot of people off. We victimize ourselves a lot, where we get to the point that I deserve this, I deserve that, I deserve this.
You don't deserve
no,
shit.
man.
Earn that shit.
The world is not the world. If you ain't learned that shit by now, the world don't care about you. You got to go out there and get your own shit and pave your own fucking path. I don't know what to tell you. There's real ones out here who are fucking trailblazers.
Facts.
On the other end of that though, right? You gonna be a trailblazer. You gotta be willing. You gotta be willing, and you gotta be ready to fucking provide and be right when it's time for you to shine. You can't show up with some half-ass shit because just because you a trailblazer and you living your life, you trying to push forward. I'm not supposed to be expected to support you just because you look the same way I do. That is, if you on some bullshit, I'm gonna call you out on that, and I'm gonna call you out on that because hopefully you hear that and you get better. But if you don't, you don't, because I'm not gonna just get scammed out of my money, or I'm not gonna get scammed out of my time. I'm not gonna get scammed out of my passion. Mm-hmm. There ain't no way you gonna do that to me. You know what I'm saying?
The thing. Take the ego out of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Take the ego out of it. Just like art, just like how we do music, just like how we do anything. If somebody's telling you something and it's criticism, you need to take that criticism and see why. You feel me?
We don't take it good as a culture.
And that's the problem. You need to learn.
Everybody think they shit don't stink, but they need to take their head out their ass and actually smell what's going on.
That's a fact.
I will say that for real, man. It's hard to get us as a culture and as a community, and it's sometimes I'll be like, damn, are we even a community? Because we can't ever agree on the same shit sometimes. But we don't want to look in the mirror. Me personally, I look at it like this. Me, as a single person on this plane that is Earth, I have to grow somehow. The only way I grow is by looking at where my downfalls are. Mm-hmm. If I don't ever feel like I have downfalls, then I'm gonna just keep living in that same cycle over and over and over again. I'm gonna keep looking for the same handouts, keep hurting myself at the same points, and keep doing the stuff like that. It takes true maturity to be able to look at yourself and be like, this is where I need to step my game up at.
Facts.
This is where I need to change. This is where, you know what? I've gotten angry so many times and showed my ass. How about I not do that this time and let's see what's different.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Let me make a change within myself. That's what I have to do to grow as an everyday person, just to be a better man, just to be a better human on this earth. Us as a community, we can't keep allowing ourselves to just accept the BS that comes from, because let's be honest, the BS is what's the most known for, what we're most known for on certain levels. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we don't have to be locked into a situation where we're in like some spiral downwards. We don't have to be constantly looking for approval from people outside of our own thing. Why don't we start figuring out our own stuff? Because as soon as we start figuring out our own stuff and we start moving different, we're going to start seeing things happen around us that are going to be different. And that's hard for a lot of people to do, because a lot of people don't like looking in the mirror. And so you tell people, hey, you want to change the thing you doing? You want to change what you're a part of? First, you got to start with yourself. A lot of people, hell no, they rather run to the other side of the goddamn earth before they look into a mirror and recognize that they might be the problem. And let me clarify, I'm not trying to say as a culture we are the problem, we are our own problem. No, I'm saying there's a lot of things that we have accepted that we could change. There's a lot of things that we do that we can change. There's a lot of things that we turn a blind eye to that we need to change, that might help push us forward in social, economic statuses, in all types of ways. Just because we moving different. There's a reason why back in the 60s we were dangerous. You know what I'm saying? We could actually click up. Even if there was two different ideas, we had on both fronts, we were just locked in. You know what I'm saying? We weren't gonna stop until motherfuckers showed us. Nowadays, it ain't enough people who are willing to have the discipline and have the old Southern term here, couth and shit about themselves to actually uphold some type of standard. And sometimes I feel like that's our problem. And again, like I said, when I say victimizing, we choose because we dwell too much on the past. We dwell too much on the things that our grandparents went through, the things that we see today. You know, we dwell too much on that type of stuff, and we don't ever really make the right adjustments. We sit there and we get tricked out of our spot every single time. Every single time. Because when it comes down to voting, let the right politician say the right thing. They gonna get me to vote for them, and then next thing you know, they don't do nothing for me. They don't do nothing for my community. They don't do nothing for my little block that I live in. They don't do nothing, right? We constantly getting tricked out of our spot. So at some point, maybe we need to sit down and be like, maybe the way I come at this situation is the problem. Maybe that's the problem. So anyway, I done been on my little rant.
Not good.
I done been on my little rant. And honestly, I don't, because I've had conversations like this with people before, where I say stuff like that, and they look at me like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you old. Blah, blah, blah. Look, to be honest, man, all I want to do is see my people, and when I say my people, not just everybody I care about. Let me put it like that. I want to see my people prosper. You know what I'm saying? And that's why sometimes I move the way I move and I say the things I say, is because if I see you can be doing better, I'm going to tell you, step your game up. I'm going to tell you, step your game up. There ain't nothing wrong with getting told that criticism is a brick in the pathway to success. Let's look at it like that. Look at it like that. When somebody tells you you fucking up, all right, bet, I got you. Let me tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Because if I got to live the way I would want, if I got to live how James wanted to live, I would have burnt out a long time ago. Let's just be true. I'm gonna be real with you. I would have flamed out so long ago. But I've had a lot of good people in my life to tell me, "Hey man, get your stuff together. Hey man, figure this stuff out." You know. But anyway, I think we've kind of dug into that a little bit, right?
I liked it.
Yeah, dug in. I think we done.
He said we took a whole bucket
in this one.
He said excavator bucket. Ugh. Look, can we before we start working towards in and out? I remember we were sitting here talking, or I heard we were there was a small debate about what's the greatest year of hip hop. Decades. What was the greatest decade of hip hop?
See, I've been listening to all, back to the beginnings.
Yeah,
80s, 90s, just vibing out. And
if y'all don't know, Uncle D is out like the source of hip hop right now.
I wouldn't say.
You do your research a lot of times.
It's because I guess the bars. I'm trying to tap in with everything and everyone. But I can't say, bro. I think I've been vibing out with 80s music. The 80s, not 80s, just 80s music. 80s hip hop.
Yeah,
I find there's more of a. I think because it had that party vibe to it.
Yeah,
and even I ain't gonna lie. Even the stories they was telling, bro. Like it was some real shit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like not just 80s hip hop, but 80s music period is just different. Like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Come on. But not even Michael. Even the rock music back then was a whole nother vibe. Like, you know.
I think that was a proving point, though. To me personally, I feel it's a proving point. You got to prove that, even though a lot of this music been out for a while, I'm not gonna say that thing, but I feel like during those eras and during those times where people have been through, we weren't born yet. There's a lot of proving points and a lot of stories that was happening that, you know what I mean, they shed to light on. And how to make shit fun. Like, music was fun.
You know what? That's because everybody was putting
serious,
that powder up their nose back then.
But I'm saying about some serious, and you just jamming because the beat is vibey and
it was fun to them. Though. That's what I'm saying.
One of my favorite songs is Take me, oh, take me. I'll be gone in a day or two. Yeah, boy, that's my stuff. That's
I think
straight from
every
the
black
80s.
person knows that.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, there's
I used to
that
like what's it
jam.
called? What's it by come on,
Hey,
come on and go. Yeah, that was a vibe. That was a vibe, bro.
There was a lot of 80s. Look, I was not born in the 80s, but I swear I would have been a vibe back then, boy. I would have had my little whoosh, and I would have been, yeah, let me get my little vibrant colors on. Walk in the club looking luminescent, you know what I'm saying?
80s had a vibe, bro. 80s had a vibe. When you sit back and think about 80s had a vibe, bro.
But if we talking strictly hip hop, I want to say best years to me were early 90s.
Yeah.
When hip hop really started coming into its own, like early 90s. Let me be more broad with it. Early 90s to mid 90s, when hip hop was really starting to hit the main stage, and there was a lot more proving ground, and it was cool to be more underground than it was mainstream back then. So you had more relatable tracks. You still had your gangster rap, because that's where gangster rap was born in. It was born in the late 80s, early 90s. You still had your gangster rap, but it was still relevant because you had more people listening and going through some of the same stuff you were going through, who were famous, but you know, they could still kind of touch that vein. You know what I'm saying?
The one track that I really like, we found out,
The Buddy
by De La Soul.
De La Soul, Queen
De La
Latifah,
Soul.
Moni, bro. That
De
was
La Soul is probably one of my favorite groups of all time. Let me put that out there.
Bro, everyone used a
different version of what Buddy was meant to be, and I was
Buddy
like,
meant
that
a
is-
different thing to
who
every
meant
single
for
person
me
that
to be
spit,
a
bro.
friend, who meant to be
A piece of ass.
a piece of ass, who meant to be this, bro, who meant to be a joint. That's
Yeah.
my buddy.
Yeah.
Like it was dope. I like that.
Man, I wish we could get back to stuff like that in hip hop, where language, the way we used words back then was crazy.
What's crazy about it is I look at the 90s and even early 2000s as a good era, because even with hip hop went into a way where the fact that a lot of experimentals in the early 2000s where rappers was going gangster rap and they went kind of a pop situation and it was still dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when who would have ever thought you would have heard Snoop sing Sexual Seduction?
Yeah, that was all. I was like,
Sexual seduction.
Yeah,
like it but in the sense of it was especially early 2000s, and you know, I mean, late 90s, early 2000s. You hear like a change, but it was a good change because now you're hearing a lot of hip hop artists do things that weren't in their realm, but still make it work.
Yeah.
They was doing a lot of experimenting that still made it work.
You know, if I have to say, all right, so my favorite, but the era that I grew up in, like the pre-2010s to that 2010 era, like where you had Wayne and T-Pain and Pretty Ricky and oh my god, that was a whole thing.
Era. That was an era,
bro. Like when Jeezy and fucking. Golly, you had oh my god, so many. T.I. was big then too. You know, Texas was still going hard. Chamillionaire and all them niggas, man. It was an era. It was an era, man. It was a whole era, man. Because I swear those are gonna always be my junior high playlist, boy.
Shout out to Soulja Boy and all the dance era.
Boy, that
Soulja Boy went in it. Oh, like yo, he brought a dance era where we got Cat Daddy after all of that. Like it was an era, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
Look, I ain't gonna lie to you.
A bunch of dance music.
Soulja Boy, I remember we was tore up about Soulja Boy. We'd be at the school dances and parties. Everybody requesting that Soulja Boy.
I ain't gonna lie.
Everybody on the dance floor sweating.
Repeated like 3 times before they moved to another song.
Yeah.
And
the stanky leg.
Out here doing the Superman for a whole 30 minutes.
Yeah.
At that time too, we had the hip hop and R&B era where the men and the women used to do the combination. Where you had Nelly and Kelly Rowlands and Ja Rule and we had an era, bro.
I feel like R&B hasn't had an era like 90s to early 2000s R&B. There ain't no better R&B than that. Were they talking about a lot of hunching? Yes, they were.
Yeah.
But the way they were
was-
talking about it was cold.
different. Yeah, it was different.
It's that grown man music nowadays. Yeah, you gotta be at least this old to ride this ride. You know.
What is consist of R&B now? Because a lot of it is tied into pop music, ain't it?
I haven't
it's more
tapped
of a
into.
More pop music. Besides, I'm gonna give a shout out to Leon Thompson, because you know that man been underground for so long, but he had a good album. I'm a five, I'm a mutt.
Yeah.
Like he really did his thing on that one. Chris Brown did his thing on his album too.
That's what I say. If you talking about a king of R&B right now, Chris Brown still.
Yeah, Chris Brown hold that.
But there ain't nobody in his lane though. He got that lane wide open. Cause T-Pain was at some point considered straight up, but that man don't be making no music like that no more. You know, we got that one little album where he was doing a lot of covers.
Yeah.
But other than that was it, man.
And to me personally,
It's still nice to see. Like
T-Pain was more a lot of.
He was
versatile because he did a lot of. To me, it was like pop.
But he wrote a
R&B.
lot of songs
He
too.
did. The thing with T-Pain was that when you really hear his voice, you're like, damn, bro, why didn't you do it from there? He brought in the whole.
but the thing is, it made sense.
At that
Because
time,
you
it
had
did.
to be. You had to be different.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm like, he brought in. It was what's it called? A blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
if you
because
think about it, he brought
that
in the
whole thing,
auto-tune,
Which changed
which
everything
changed
forever.
the game. And then when you sit down here and listen to this man's voice, you go like, why the hell do you need auto-tune, bro?
It's
Like,
crazy.
you had a beautiful voice. type shit.
Even though he brought in the auto tune, no one could make it sound like he did.
Nah, that's different. T-Pain
Yeah.
is different. Which,
Yeah.
you know, if y'all learn what auto-tune was actually used for, you know what I mean? It's used for seismic waves for earthquakes. That was crazy. But you know what I mean? He used it different, and he brought in an era where it's like, yo, T-Pain knew what he was doing at that time.
I ain't gonna lie, I just like he's probably the only celebrity I really follow right now, like outside of music, because he's into the same shit we into, like cars, anime, games. Like he's doing all that shit,
Yeah.
bro.
Nah, he is hella relatable.
Yeah, so I was like,
he just
yo.
he's like, if one of
was
us got
just-
money, yeah, that's true. I fucks with T-Pain. I miss his podcast. I don't ever hear
One
it.
thing
The
I-
podcast was fun.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. I gotta respect T-Pain because he's like one of the realest. He went through a lot of ups and downs. That when you listen, if y'all ever tap into that Nappy Boy Radio podcast and look back at a lot of things, he say a lot of real things, and it's like to understand that this man went through a lot of hardship, even in his career, with people, you know, using him and abusing him to the point, you know what I mean, just to prove a point when he was drunk and shit. It's kind of sad to understand that, but it's like, yo, he's a real nigga, bro. Like, goes that word. He's
It ain't ever going nowhere.
He ain't never going
My
nowhere.
boy.
My boy. But he's a real dude, like real shit. Like he's a real dude, and is for artists like us it shows like realism, and like no matter what position you in, you could be up or down. There's a lot of hardship that go through that shit, bro. And I was like, T-Pain really shed that on that, especially when he tapped in with the Afro beats, and he did that what's it called, Libyanka's song, I've been drinking more alcohol, and he did his version. I found that was one of the realest songs because he really put his heart out on that and telling people like, yo, I've been used when I was on alcohol, you feel me? I've been used when I was drunk and people was using me for money or whatever the case may be, and I was losing. He's supposed to be winning, but he was losing because, you know, I mean, people was just using him for what he had.
Yeah.
Type shit.
Yeah, so all right, so just to lock in one more time. You say 80s. You feel like it's probably one of the best era.
Because of the vibe that I got from just listening to the music. Like, yeah, even the storytelling, they be talking about some serious shit that happens in everyday life. And I'm still vibing to it as if it's a happy song.
Yeah,
bro.
that shit is timeless. Yeah.
So
And what-
I'd say 80s. Like, and that's the thing, is like,
It's crazy.
yeah, I'll just say 80s.
80s.
what about
It's
you?
crazy. I said, my person is like, because of me, of hip hop is late 90s to early 2000s.
Yeah, and I'm right in between y'all. Like I said, late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s. Let's be more honest. Probably about 95 is about where I feel like we kind of started falling.
Well,
off.
what Lyrically Acclaimed is saying from 80s to the early 2000s. That's what we saying.
Yeah, yeah. Get with the
What
program.
we having it because all of us come together as that Hydra shit.
Y'all ever listen to some old Jay-Z?
No.
Man, I'm gonna listen to that nigga, bro.
I feel like I've been on to find everybody's
his
first track.
I've been on his at that time his opponent's side. I've been on the
Bro, go listen to some old Jay. Bro, when Jay was really just like that nigga back coming up from what's the projects? Cause he came from the same spot where Biggie came from, in Brooklyn.
Is that?
I want to say
Mercy.
Yeah,
I'm about to say like I
Mercy
knew it was
Project.
something else.
yeah,
Mercy Project.
yeah. See, so yeah, I mean, bro, man, OJ is cold. For him to go from where, to be honest, I think we all sometimes don't give him his flowers because he is so famous and he has so much money. But that man did something nobody else could do in a lot of ways. And he took his days of hustling and made them into
He made a blueprint that
platinum.
Here's the thing: he made a blueprint that a lot of people follow until this day. Mm-hmm. It's a blueprint.
Yeah.
And the fact that, man, he showed you what it is to get out the hood, really and true shit. Mm-hmm. Like real shit. And there's a bunch of them. Like even Fat Joe. I gotta give shout outs to Fat Joe because even listen to Fat Joe's story. The man was a hustler back in the Bronx. Man was a hustler. And he found a blueprint to how to get out here. He got connected with Big Pun and all that. And look what Joey at now. Joey Crack. Mm-hmm. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of legends. To me personally, there's a lot of legends.
Yeah,
And
man.
a lot of them don't get their flowers. Which I got to shout outs to Drink Champs because they are giving out their flowers to a lot of legends.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's the reason I was able to tap into so much 80s and
Yeah,
like
man.
when he started getting like the OGs, like the people who started it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really like I heard of them like Grandmaster Flash and whoever
I'm telling y'all still ain't went and looked at that
No.
what's it called on Netflix? The documentary.
I told you.
The docu-series on Netflix.
I told you I started. I just haven't finished it.
Bro, go and look at it. Hip Hop Evolution.
Oh,
It's
okay,
gonna
yeah, I
change.
got it. Yeah.
It's gonna change the way you just see the way hip hop grew. Cause it's almost like you see where the seed was planted, and then you start seeing the tree being grown. It's crazy. It's really
crazy?
amazing.
What's crazy about it is, for me, and I'm gonna say personally, for me, the way I see hip hop grow is based off of who I tap into for albums. Mm-hmm. Because you can always see the change. You can always see where they went from. Like for me, like I said on the last podcast with two, that the fact that I went from watching Nas did the Illmatic, and then I seen his albums after, and you could hear the change. And I heard it even with a local artist, 222. I've heard it, like I told him, my favorite album from 2 is De La Soul, because I seen where I listened to all 3 albums that she had out, and De La Soul was different from Phase 1, and I'm not gonna say the album after because I can't remember it. And even New Moon was Blue Moon.
Out the blue.
Out the Blue. Sorry.
This nigga just creating titles.
Probably my next project. But Out the Blue, I could see the change from De La Soul, because to me personally, as a storyteller and how I am, De La Soul was more of a storytelling album.
Yeah. Oh.
From that,
you say
not-
De La Soul.
No,
yeah,
because that's what it
thinking
was.
Group. I'm
That was
forgetting
her shit.
that's the name of her title. Yeah.
That was her album, De La
Big
Soul.
ups to two. Big ups to two for that.
She was supposed to be on this one because she called it bring her back on the 22nd, but our girl is sick right now, and hope for her well-beings.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you could see a change, and that's how I've connected with music. Where the fact of the matter is, you start going back to the first album, and then start doing the research back from, if they have 13 albums, sit down there for that week and listen to them 13 albums, because you're going to hear the change. You're going to hear the progression. You're going to hear how the styles move, how they did things from the first one to the 5th one to the 4th one. And you hear all that. So documentaries, to me, I will always learn the information of how it grew. But as an artist, you're gonna hear the changes.
I think it's important to, like, for stuff like Hip Hop Evolution, right? Because like, you know me, I've been in love with this shit since I was a youngster, 6 years old. But watching that and sitting back and watching it and hearing from the horse's mouth, because they're talking to the actual people who had boots on the ground back then.
Facts.
It gives you that
Different
feeling
perspective,
like, you
yeah.
know what? This is really like, because they talk to Nas, they talk to Funkmaster
Mellow,
Flex, they
yeah.
talk to the first DJ to ever spin breaks. You know what I'm saying? They talk to the first guy, whoever was like, yeah, we just wanted to set up a DJ jockey setup. You know
I
what I'm
want to say
saying?
something. If y'all didn't know, it was a female that started this shit when it come down to record it. If y'all watch that episode, if y'all watch what he's saying with Hip Hop Evolution, it was a female that really pushed the envelope for where we got Rapper's Delight and all of that type of shit, which is cool. Like when you
Yeah.
start learning these information, it's like, God damn, you wouldn't have known.
telling you.
Now you know. Even I will even go back to, if you go on Hulu and watch Dear Mama for Tupac.
Yeah.
That is very inspirational because I didn't know a lot of things when it came down to it, especially with him actually going against the Black Panther and really telling them like, yo, there's a lot of things that's wrong in this situation. You know what I mean? Like, if y'all don't know Tupac's story and a lot of things like that, Dear Mama is a good series to watch because there's a lot of documents of him actually, you know, recorded and wherever he's talking to Black Panther and how everything changed and how he's explaining a lot of his music when people was taking it from, oh, you telling people to kill the cops? No, I'm telling the story of police brutality. By your words, police brutality versus you telling somebody to kill a cop. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you how a man had to defend himself based off of police brutality.
Yeah,
and what
the scene
happened.
that taps into kind of what I was saying
earlier.
Yeah, like Pac was on some other
he was
shit,
on
man.
some other things, and y'all need to tap into that. I haven't finished it because of it was late night type shit. I haven't tapped in, but from what I've learned from the first 3 episodes, Brenda's Have a Baby and all that, the stories that he's telling is inspired by true events and the things that he was on, the revolution that he was on is a lot of things that you could learn from.
I got a
You know what I
book
mean?
that I'm willing to lend out, but as soon as we get shelves on the walls where we can put all our manga and our
stuff.
other stuff.
I hope y'all like the new decor.
Yeah,
know what I
you see
mean?
the background. Yeah, you see the background.
Inspirational, ain't it?
Yeah. I got a book that I want. I mean, if y'all want to read, it's Pac's story told by everybody that was close to him and their perspective. And then, like, it's a really good thing because then you get to see and hear from other people, and it goes from when he was young to the day he died. The perspective, and it lets you know like how they seen Pac and how he was going, and every moment where he went through his pitfalls, his downfalls, and you get to see it almost from a third person point of view. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good book, man. It'll teach you a lot of things too, because not only is there rappers in there, there's people who are like just like A&Rs and stuff like that who work with Pac and stuff, and all this, and also like the ways that he affected them and helped change their mind frame and thinking of things. It's a really good read. I think it's called All Eyes on Me. I like I said, it's a good book. Go look for it. I can't remember exactly who the author is, but yeah, it's a really good book.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody wants to, he's sitting at this table, not you motherfuckers. Anybody want it, I'll let y'all borrow it. It's one of my treasures. You know.
Here's my thing, and this is before we step into D.
Yeah.
If y'all are stepping in this game of hip hop, educate yourself. Educate yourself on history of how it comes down to how hip hop has started, come down to where we at now, and even educate yourselves on how to storytell and how to do all these things. Because at the end of the day, bro, that's what a lot of people's interested in, the stories. And it goes back to an earlier podcast where me and Archie was talking about the WWE and and hip hop. And I've recently watched the interview with R-Truth, which he is an artist. Ron Killings is an artist, but he's also an athlete in WWE. It goes hand in hand, because when it comes down to it, WWE tells a story, but it comes down to the music that you provide and everything. If you realize, if you watched wrestling throughout the years, how people changed when it comes down to it. If you change your entrance music to a bad guy's music, you see what he's at. If you change it to a point where it's a good music, he's where you know where he's that good guy. Educate yourself on words, how to formulate words, and how to storytell, and you become to me, and this is my opinion, when you do that, you know how to educate yourself on how to become a great artist, because you know how to create. You're not using the same things. You're not going back to the same where the fact that we're using the same things over and over. You could tell a story and move forward. So education is key when it comes down to this thing.
Yeah, man. All right, Uncle D, you
Uncle
up, bro?
D.
You know, oh shit.
What you got?
No, I was just thinking of something that I realized I saw on the internet like months ago about Zorro, and how he's one of the biggest racists in anime.
Hey, I also seen a lot of stuff like that. Yeah.
Not my boy Zorro.
Look, I just realized.
Cover your eyes. You can't. He's talking shit about you.
Yeah, so somebody made a whole like compilation. Basically, every black character that showed up, or not just black, any dark skinned character that came across Zorro got fucked up worse than anyone else.
I heard that. I saw that.
And I saw that they showed the video of the fights between, you know, Zorro fighting a dark skinned person and anyone else like lighter complexion. They ain't get as fucked up as the dark person, bro. Like Zorro put on his best move. God damn.
Fumble. Look, speaking of
that boy Zorro put on his best moves.
Oh yeah, he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna make sure you remember this, boy." Yeah,
Nah, well, that's my favorite.
hey,
That's my favorite character.
I want to say I finally have made it to the Luffy Kaido fight. I'm less than 80 episodes we've been done with Wano. It's a good feeling to know that I'm almost caught up to
And then you got
all of
Egghead.
One Piece. Yeah, which you know what? I'm
I
glad.
gotta continue because after that hiatus, I haven't watched One Piece for a while. So I
Oh
gotta catch
yeah.
up.
When was the hiatus?
Oh, sometime this year. I think it
What
was
they
like
do,
a
like
couple
6 months?
No, it was
Or just a couple,
probably 3
months. They just stopped writing.
Yeah. It was enough time to catch up if
Yeah.
you needed to, but I've been playing a lot of games.
Speaking of games, bruh.
I know you've been wanting me to get back on Fortnite.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to Fortnite it up, dog. Cause I don't play
but I
COD
will.
no more, man.
I be turning on Call of Duty and I'm like, I don't feel like playing this. Even the zombies mode, like that's the real reason I bought the thing, and that shit be getting me bored too.
I've been playing a lot of like
So
smaller releases. I guess you can say like South of Midnight is probably one of my favorite games
that
right
game
now.
came out already?
Yeah, South of Midnight. It's I know for sure it's an Xbox Studios game.
So it's just.
But I
Xbox.
think they're going to release it to everything. To be honest,
I hope they do because it looks.
It's nice. It's a really good game. Honestly, I haven't. It's been a couple of weeks since I really got to finish playing the story, but it's a really good game. I really enjoy it. And then another game that I've been wanting to get into is, I can't remember the exact title, but something 33.
Expedition 30?
Yeah.
I'm looking to buy that.
That's why. Listen, Game Pass is where it's at, because that bad boy is free on Game Pass, my boy.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll pay full price.
Hey, suppose at some point, I'm pretty sure Xbox is gonna put Game Pass on. They're gonna try to sell it to everybody.
I mean, whatever comes with gaming, I don't care.
Yeah, look,
I do. Look, I know they said we supposed to get Gears of War on PS5. I'm waiting for that collection to drop.
yeah, Gears of War.
You don't know how long I've been missing playing Gears of War, bro. I was only able to play. My cousin had an Xbox back in the day. That was the only way I was able to play that.
Honestly, I'm fit to
shit
get
that-
me a PlayStation because I grew
Yeah,
all
so
my
you
shit.
could finally see with me online and shit.
Yeah,
Came back at the right time. You about to get a PlayStation?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be my secondary.
Come
to
down
the
to dark
dark
side.
No. It's gonna be my secondary. I'm always gonna be an Xbox boy, but
Hey, you could be Xbox.
PlayStation is gonna be my secondary.
When
Because
you
there's
see
just
all
some
the-
titles that I want to play that we
When
don't
you
got.
see all the bros
What the hell did I
online.
miss? We went from Zorro being racist to goddamn. We talking
Well,
about
we talked about it. It's just a quick thing, you know. He racist, but that's all right.
Hey, let's not do that right now because honestly, Zorro is one of the toughest characters in where I'm at. Hey, man, the love he got for Luffy, man.
That's what my man said.
Can't
That's my
talk shit
bad.
about it.
Yo, what my boy said in Wano? That's my best friend,
Well, shit.
that's what he
It's
told
more
him.
than crewmates.
bro. That's
I could have
that's
told you that
homie.
since
We
fucking-
all knew it.
Since
but
that first
since
start.
they first met.
Yeah.
listen in.
That's some
we
best
all,
friend shit, bro.
We all knew it, but you know what's funny? It was what's crazy about it is when he actually said it for himself.
Yeah, when he
Actually
put
said
out
it,
there.
it's like
Yeah.
we already know, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
You know, that's your homie. That's little bro.
I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of
Sanji and Zoro, on the other hand, they
they
more like
brothers.
siblings, right?
Yeah,
brothers.
they got that brotherly
that
rivalry.
brotherly?
Throwing hands for the simplest of shit.
Yeah, they about the same age too. So yeah, they
know what I
both competing for just to be the big dog.
I gotta respect this anime. I ain't gonna lie to you. I gotta respect One Piece because at the end of the day, bro.
Hold on.
Well,
Why y'all scared to watch 1,000 episodes?
Yeah,
I watched that shit
that's a
4
fact.
times. 4,000 episodes for me.
I started at the very
Hold on.
beginning. Never wanted to watch One Piece because it was so long, and I got in there.
hold on. Hear what he said? That nigga said 4,000. Hold on. That's how you know that. That's how you know that shit true. That man watched this shit 4 times. You hear what he said? He said 4,000
Well, no, all right,
episodes.
Let me not
Now-
hype it up. I can't because when the first time I watched One Piece back in the day when it was shown on TV, I watched up to I think was it the fight with Crocodile?
It was on. I know. I remember when I watched it. It was
When
up
did
to
it start?
Arlong Park, and then after that,
Okay, yeah. So it was Arlong Park. I stopped watching anime for a bit. Well, I started over and I got up to Marine Ford. Stopped again. Like basically after Ace got killed.
Yeah.
Stopped there. Rewatched everything a third time. That's when I got to Wano. And then my wife got interested in One Piece, and I went back and watched it over with her.
So he's right. 4,000 episodes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
he's right. You heard him. How he reset it. That is crazy.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Y'all gotta be stopped. Y'all can't be afraid to watch One Piece, bro.
no,
Once
these
y'all
short,
lock
short
in-
animes got y'all spoiled.
Yeah,
bro.
there's a
Bro.
lot of good short animes, but a good story is, man.
Listen
One
here.
Piece is a great story. And if it didn't have all the comedy in it, it would probably be the darkest anime you've ever watched in your life.
I like dark anime.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If y'all sat up here for all y'all Pokemon lovers, if y'all sat up here and watch Pokemon,
Y'all gotta watch.
yeah,
No, fuck Pokemon, bro. Y'all gotta watch Damon. It's basically like a dark version of Pokemon, bro.
Oh, for real?
Damon.
Yes.
On Crunchy?
No, Netflix.
On Netflix?
That's what I remember. It came out.
Oh, I
that
know
shit.
what you- yeah, I remember what
They
you're talking about.
basically enslaved these demons that came into the world and used them to fight other demons, bro. Them demons don't give a fuck. They chopping up people
Well,
the
what
second
am-
they get, and the ones that are captured, if the owner was treating them like shit,
Yeah.
bro, the second they got let loose, chopped them up,
Yeah, I remember what
and
you're
went on
talking
with their life, bro.
But what I'm saying is that the fact of the matter is, if people sat up here, Pokemon been out for what 20 years, 20 plus years.
Yeah,
If
about
you
the
sat
same
up here and
amount
watched
of length
all
as
the
One
Pokemon,
Piece.
Yeah, I got lost.
But what I'm saying is, if you could sat up here and watch all the Pokemon, you could have sat up here and watched this. You could have sat up here and watched
They
these guys.
ran about the same length.
They
of time.
ran.
One Piece?
Pokemon is the longest, and it's still going because Pokemon is 1,200 episode plus because they done finished with Ash story. Now there's another
Ain't
story.
there some other animes longer than One Piece?
Yeah, no, they're like
No,
straight up
there's-
Japanese.
there's-
episodes.
Japanese,
There's
probably.
like another one that's way longer than One Piece.
Yeah, there's this
probably
kid
is.
show. I looked it
Hell.
up the other day. It's a kid show. In
If you sat up here and watched all the Gundams, because I ain't gonna lie, Gundams have multiple series that you sit down and like, what the hell is going on? And it's different shit. If you can sit up there and watch that, you can sit up here and watch my boys and do the shit, do what they do. You feel me?
Listen
just
here,
lazy.
while we talk about
Yeah.
anime, Where the hell is the new Black Clover episodes?
Crickets.
I'm about tired. And JJK, where are they at?
That's okay. I started season 3 of Fire Force. I'm good.
Yeah, see, look, I'm waiting for them to dub everything because I'm a dumbass and I'm not as good as all the purists who
Yeah, I
like
don't-
watching it
I
in
don't give a
sub.
fuck about subs.
I'm
Like,
waiting for the
I need to
fucking
pay
dub.
attention, bro.
I watched the first 2 episodes of Fire Force and
not
then I was
young.
like, let me let them catch up.
I'm not trying to read and
I'm
pay
not
attention
young
to a
like I
whole
used-
fight scene at the same time. Like,
Yeah, I'm not young like I used to be back in the day. That's how I watched Naruto in Japanese, but now I can't do it.
There's a
I don't
lot
got
of
time.
people who
I got the
they
option, I'll
clown
take it.
still. Just still, it's crazy. It's crazy to anime fans like, oh, you're not a real anime fan if you don't watch it
Eat
in
a dick.
Japanese. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, well, I speak
Uncle
English,
D, wild. See,
motherfucker.
that's what we call him, nasty Uncle D, because this man said eat a dick. Like, yeah, this is wild.
I speak English. I'm gonna listen to it in English because you know what? Even if I'm not looking, I can still hear what's going on.
I can't do it no more. Me personally, I can't do it.
I want to
no more.
wash the dishes and
Yeah, and have it
from the
playing.
corner.
If I need to catch up on an episode and go back, I can just
You know
sit there and
what's
listen.
No, it's crazy. I rather. Naruto is one of the only ones I preferred in Japanese
I never
compared
listened
to
to
English.
Japanese.
I've done it because I've watched the Shippuden, like all the Shippuden, most likely in Japanese, and as crazy as it is, I preferred it in Japanese. But like
sometimes when you
for
hear it in
me,
Japanese, you don't want to hear the English.
English. But then I can't watch Fairy Tale in Japanese because I'm like, I don't want to hear that. They make Natsu feel like it wasn't who he was. And I've started it in English. I was like, yeah, I gotta get
You know
Natsu
the
where he
worst
was.
voice I feel like in Japanese because I guess I watched it in English first.
Goku.
Jesus Christ! I'd be like, why does he sound like that? Yeah, boy.
She was a man.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
First and foremost, I'm just mad how they make Goku be more stupider than he was. Like,
In the new stuff,
in the new stuff, like, yo, bro.
No, I haven't paid attention to Dragon Ball Z.
Super.
in a
And
minute.
Super-
still good though.
And Super is a I haven't really fully dived into Super as much, but once I heard him, I was like, come on, bro. Like, I understand Goku had his moments. We all know Goku had his moments because that man was the most carefree father
Yeah, but he's
that
like
we
an
ever know.
intelligent fighter, though.
But then you make the man sound stupid. It's like, why we had to do that, bro? Why we had to do that? But
I before we move on, let me because I've been
for me
watching a
personally,
few things.
shout outs to Overlord. I've been paying attention to Overlord. I've been restarting that shit like 5 times already. But Overlord is a good fucking anime. I ain't gonna lie to you. Overlord
I've
is a
been
good anime.
hooked. I ain't gonna lie. Keita got me hooked on this one show. I think it's called My Happy Marriage, bro. And at first, I thought it was, hey, give that shit a chance, all right?
I can't deny it because
When
I
the
watched.
fighting- when the fighting
what's
started
it
and
called? I've watched. I said I'm here. Orion's High School. Yeah, bro. I had my moments. Wait, it wasn't fighting.
The whole
it
shit
was just wild.
It was started off as drama, like little lovey-dovey shit. Girl, but it ends up the main character, the girl, her family was treating her like shit, almost like a slave. Like they even is the father and mother's daughter, bro, treating her like less than human. About to sell her to the uncle, bro.
That's wild. Look,
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. You know what's crazy? I got a shout out to sports animes.
Bro, sports anime,
Kuroko's basketball,
bro.
oh yeah,
bro.
I don't know why. I'll be looking. I'll be like, maybe I should
No,
start
no,
this,
I
but
gotta
then I'm
look.
like, I don't want to see.
You
this
never
shit.
heard something so intense. You know what you call this? The crossover. Yo,
The simplest move.
the simplest move.
No, yeah.
Crossover, but I gotta give it to because from Kuroko's to Haiju
I gotta look at Blue Lock.
to Blue Lock. Blue Lock is intense too because for soccer
I've
anime.
seen some shit about demons coming in. I'm like, where demons come
I don't
from?
know.
They're playing football.
Because of the fact of the matter is mental. It's a real mental situation.
Yo.
And there's that anime, and I ain't gonna lie to you, for y'all anime fans, don't kill me on it. There's that racing anime that I've been trying to.
Initially. No, it's
It's a racing
Initial
anime,
D and then.
not issue D. It's where they really doing track and field type shit.
Oh, okay, never mind.
There's that one. Yo, sports anime is intense,
Yeah.
bro. You sit up there from Kuroko's basketball. You sit up there and you go like, Yo, bro, basketball. Basketball is intense, but the way they put it on anime, it's like, yo, bro, these guys got powers.
Yeah.
Dude, you're like, yo, this
they
shit.
gotta juice it up. You gotta juice it up.
And then the way they make it seem like, yeah, we from the Japanese, but you know, when the Americans come in, here's the difference.
Yeah. And they had them and one dudes come to
Bro,
I was like,
it's
the most
dope.
disrespectful
It's on
basketball
Netflix.
game I ever seen.
I don't know if it's still
bro.
on Netflix, but I know all 3 series are on Netflix. All 3 seasons was on Netflix, but it was intense.
I just found and I'll end it with this because we gotta wrap it up. But I just found the most diabolical fucking anime ever. It's fucking redo of Healer.
Oh, you finally watched it?
I was like, what the
Like,
That's diabolical.
bro, that's
as
the
hell.
one anime I felt sorry for
everybody in it. Yeah, I was like, this shit is just not. I was like,
shit
there is no
crazy.
heroes. Everybody's
everybody's
a fucking
villain.
villain.
Everybody
a
deserves
villain.
whatever happened, bro.
Everything that's happening to them, yeah, they all deserve it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, man, I seen that, and then I was anime that I'm about to start watching is I actually seen RDC World talking about it. It was To Be Hero X. I'm gonna start locking in with that. I guess it's something
Hero
new.
X?
Yeah, it's only got 1 season. I'm waiting to get to a point where I'm caught up on One Piece because I done already caught up on to My Hero Academia. So I'm done with that. The only, I've been looking for a lot of newer stuff to watch, and RDC World was talking about it on, I guess, they podcast or
I gotta
whatever.
finish Attack on Titan.
For y'all fans,
I gotta
out there,
finish the last like 15 episodes, and then I'll be done.
For y'all fans out there, if there's any anime y'all want to suggest to us,
Yeah,
yo, tap
put
in.
the animes in the
Put
comments.
the animes in the comments. We will check it out because there's a lot of us that we think. Because I've been on
What's that one?
Diaries of Apothecary. That's
Yes,
a good
that-
anime. I've watched the anime Detective MD. Me personally, I've watched animes that not really have to do with
I like
action.
Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone is a good one too.
Crunchyroll keep
Crunchyroll be thinking
suggesting Black Butler to me or something like
Black
that.
Butler is.
Yeah, I keep seeing that one pop. I'm gonna check it out. 'Cause it just pops up first.
I've
every
started
time I
it.
turn on.
I've started it. It's not a bad anime. I'm not gonna sit up here and think if y'all know anything about it, y'all just put it in the comments and let us know. It's not a bad anime, to be honest. Black Butler is a good one. Just like Blue Exorcist, just like
See, I was gonna start Blue Exorcist too, but I just
Tokyo
haven't yet.
Ghoul is from the
Tokyo
beginning.
Ghoul,
Tokyo
yeah.
Ghoul is crazy from the beginning. You gotta realize, I ain't gonna lie to you. If y'all don't realize, a lot of these, for me, I'm gonna talk about me. I don't follow y'all when y'all start putting the shit up and hyping it up. I don't do that.
Yeah,
It was
No matter
one
what
anime.
show, it doesn't matter if it's anime or a show. I don't hype you. I don't go when y'all like to watch it. I watch it on my own time because
Yeah.
when y'all start hyping shit up, sometimes I'll look at it like, because it's gonna be a unpopular belief. I don't watch Bleach. I'm not a fan of it. I've started it and it's not a thing for me. And I know a lot of y'all go look at me like, what the fuck? It is what it is. Fuck y'all. I'm not a Bleach fan and it is what it is. I've been trying for years and I'm not entertained. It's not something
Yeah, if
for
you've
me.
been trying it, at least you tried, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
If
saying.
you try, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you gotta keep watching.
All I will say is this man still ain't watched JJK.
I didn't watch it either, bro.
Y'all tripping.
No. You said JJ. I'm thinking you're
Yeah.
talking about JoJo's, bro.
No, JoJo's
I started,
tried to
I
watch it
haven't
multiple
gone-
times.
JJ, I watched it up until
JJK, I've started another thing,
what
just
is
like Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, real shit, is because
fun
of
to
y'all.
watch.
Demon
It's
Slayer
because of
is
y'all. I've
badass.
watched Demon Slayer because of you and Q. Is the reason why I started
Demon
watching
Slayer is
Demon
really
Slayer,
good.
but I haven't watched it on my own to really understand the situation.
The Demon Slayer is really, really good. I like the storyline. I've heard good and bad from people, but for me, I like it. I think it's one of the top contenders in today's newer anime. JJK though,
It's a different-
when it comes down to you just got to be ready because it starts out on a whole different pace and it ends on some like what the
know that,
fuck
yeah.
type shit. You'd be like, holy crap. By the time you get to the end of where they have the anime, you're like, oh my god, everybody's really just going to the manga now.
Hell, when you think, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If you think about it, I didn't start One Piece until 2020.
Yeah.
Like I've watched One Piece from when it was on, if y'all know how old, when it was on back on 4Kids TV.
4Kids.
4Kids TV. That's when I started
that's
One
what
Piece.
we
When they was
watched.
like, when we had the Geico.
man was rapping on the
streaming.
intro?
That's when we had them, the English entrances. And then it went to cable. And you know what I mean? It went to Cartoon Network and Toonami. And I didn't watch it then. And then I really started really dived into One Piece.
That's
really.
when you gotta know how
When
old somebody
COVID
is. If you ask them if they know about the dude rapping on the intro of One Piece, yeah, you don't hear that nowhere. Not even if you, not even if you
Yeah, I wouldn't
restarted.
even know because I didn't. One
you
Piece
didn't know
wasn't
that
even in. One Piece wasn't in.
I think they changed it now, right?
Yeah.
But if you were tapped in, that was back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it
when
was.
One Piece came out.
I was
on 4Kids.
I was more focused on other stuff because I remember seeing One Piece back then, but I never watched it.
Yeah,
And
that's-
shit, my first time watching it was last year.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I
One Piece.
mean?
One Piece started. That's why I said where I stopped off was Arlen Park because Arlen Park was the ending.
That's where they actually.
That's where they.
That's where they actually stopped it.
That's where they ended it on. If y'all don't have cable, that's how you know how old you were. That's where you stop it on local local TV was Arlen Park before they went to Toonami for a little bit, and then after that they went internet. And you know what I mean? But I always said it. One Piece got its glory in this past few years after 2020.
Yeah, it's starting to
It's
get
been-
us
it's
bro. The edits that I find
Yeah.
on TikTok are
You know
crazy.
what I mean?
Yeah, them shits. Wow.
Hey man, but look, it's getting late. We gotta wrap this.
Yeah, I've been watching. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's getting late.
just-
It's getting late.
Yeah, I already know us. You know what I mean? We could tap into
gonna
this
have-
shit. You know, Uncle D gonna have his segment.
Quick fun.
Quick fun.
It's time for Guess the Bars.
All right.
Yeah, I had this whole thing set up for 222, but we just gonna use some of them.
Okay.
I'll come back with something for. Yeah.
What you got for us, Uncle D?
Here's the first one. Now with these, I'm gonna just say the artist name because it was like a quick put together. So you'll just guess the artist at the end. Shit. Another victory they can't get with me. So pick a BC date because your history. I'm authentic poet. I'm the authentic poet to get lyrical. For you to beat me, it's gonna take a miracle. And step into me, yo, that's the wrong move. So what you on, Hobbs? Dope or dog food?
What you on, Hobbs? Damn.
Alright, so that's Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One.
Fuck.
I'm feeling Kane, Big Daddy. That sounds more like Big Daddy Kane style, in my opinion. But KRS-One
There's
is,
another one, yeah.
yeah, like, cause I wouldn't be surprised.
You said Kane?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go KRS.
Big Daddy Kane.
yeah. See,
Song is-
I'm
it's
a,
no half step.
I'm a child. See, yeah, I'm a child of that song. First of all, I put it in the Born Killer. I put some of his lyrics in that Born Killer.
The reason I would say it because the way they were lyrical. Both of them were lyrical. So that's why Go ahead. I fucks with it. I ain't trying to bite
This
off
one-
answers. You know what I mean?
He said, "I want to do something different."
Different. That's ill-minded.
But that could have split.
Either
'cause
way, yeah.
KRS-One, but
Slick Rick, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it for Slick.
I am the guy that's on the front.
Shout out to Slick. That's why I get my motivation from that.
Alright, here's the second one. My son said, "Daddy, I don't want to go to school because the teacher's a jerk. He must think I'm a fool. And all the kids smoke reefer. I think it'd be cheaper if I just got a job, learn to be a street sweeper, or dance to the beat, shuffle my feet, wear a shirt and tie and run with the creeps. Because it's all about money. Ain't a damn thing funny. You got to have a con in this land of milk and honey. They pushed that girl in front of the train, took her to the doctor, sewed her arm on again, stabbed that man right in his heart, gave him a transplant for a brand new start. I can't walk through the park because it's crazy after dark. Keep my hand on my gun because they got me on the run. I feel like an outlaw. Broke my last glass jaw. Hear him say, you want some more? Living on a seesaw.
I feel like I heard this.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like I heard this.
All right.
What you got?
Sugar Hill Gang, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Run DMC.
Say that again.
I'm going
Sugar
Hill Gang, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Run DMC.
Fuck.
I'm going Sugar Hill.
That's how I was gonna go too.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm going Sugar Hill. Because Funkmaster Flex and them, they were more of that. Definitely when they were at their height, they were more of that. They were wearing the flashy shit. They were, doing the fucking streamers on their shirts and shit.
I'll be mad because I'm thinking even Run DMC.
It could be. Because
That's what I'm thinking.
Run them, they talked about some serious stuff.
Yeah. Fuck me, bro. You said Sugar? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna go Run.
Oh, you're both wrong. It's Grandmaster Flash.
No way, bro.
Is the message.
The message. I'm trying to figure out when you were saying it, I was thinking that's the message. But then I was like, damn.
Put it together, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was like, that's hip hop's first real conscious
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm listening to this shit. I'm
that's
like,
crazy.
I know this verse.
Yeah, we should go bow our heads
it's on
and
that one.
be like, damn, we fucked up. But no, that was my first thought was the message, and I feel stupid as
Cause just
fuck
listening
now.
to it, I'm like, I know this fucking verse, bro. Like, what the hell? All right, cool.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah,
Don't
nah,
push
yeah.
me.
Cause I'm close to the edge. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
trying not to lose my head.
All right. Last one. Oh, shit. Okay.
Fuck.
Back in the day, man, a nigga had ripped jeans. Couldn't afford a new pair. I had broke seams. Couldn't think about the money. I had broke dreams. Outfit was the match of a crack fiend. I was trying to be fly. Couldn't take off. Clothes falling off my ass. Lost weight, dog. No jacket in the winter. Had the shakes, dog. Then I said, fuck it. Cause something gonna have to shake, dog.
Who's your artist?
Alright. We got Morey, Kevin Gates, Rod Wave.
Wait, what?
Oh, nice mix up.
You said Amore,
Morey,
Kevin
Gates, Rod Wave.
I'm going Rod. I listened to a decent amount of Kevin Gates. I don't think I've ever heard them lyrics before come out of his mouth. But I'm probably wrong. Yeah, but I'm going Rod.
Uncle D got us on this one. Uncle D got us. Say it. Can you spit it again?
Back in the day, man, a nigga had ripped jeans. Couldn't afford a new pair. I had broke seams. Couldn't think about the money. I had broke dreams. Outfit was the match of a crack fiend. I was trying to be fly. Couldn't take off. Clothes falling off my ass. Lost weight, dog. No jacket in the winter. Had the shakes, dog. Then I said, fuck it, cause something gonna have to shake, dog.
You know what? I don't know. I might change my answer now that I'm thinking about it.
See, the fact of the matter is, I don't know Amore. That's the one thing that's bothering me. I don't know who. Rod Wave, I know. Kevin Gates, I know. I don't know Amore.
So you going more?
I don't know. Like that. That's what's fucking with me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm going. Look,
Okay.
honestly, I'm gonna switch to Kevin Gates. I think
Kevin.
I'm gonna switch to Kevin.
Fuck. Kevin hitting this. Fuck. I'm gonna do Rod. No. Yeah, no, fuck it. I'm gonna do Rod. What is the answer?
Well, you're both wrong. It's Morey.
Maury. You see what I see? Yo!
I was sitting there in my head singing that shit. I was like, this could be Kevin.
His song Quicksand.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, I don't know the guy. Fuck. Well, he still won. He got one.
Yeah, one out of
Y'all know the song, bro.
I can't believe I fucked up on the message, bro. I feel like a poser. Oh my god.
Oh, y'all know.
I've heard this. I've actually heard that before, but I never, locked in with it. That's for sure. Cause that's how like it go up though. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I want our audience to know. Just because we in hip hop and what we do, that don't mean a lot of us know everything. Because at the end of the day, this is the teaching moment. A lot of us could listen to a lot of songs, but we don't know the verses by heart. Or even when, like I always say, when Uncle D spits it, you start realizing what they're actually saying in these verses. That really puts us to light where it's like, damn, it really challenges us as artists to like, damn, bro, like I didn't know X, Y, and Z really said this. Like when it came down to the message, we've both listened, all of us listened to the message, and sometimes you like, where it came from.
If you ain't heard the message and you a rapper,
Yeah.
I don't know if you really know what's going on in hip hop, really.
But I ain't gonna lie, that's the whole purpose of this of this segment. Is if you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah.
Go tap in.
Listen.
Tap in with them songs and start listening, because there's a lot of things that come out of this where you're like, God damn, that's what he actually said.
Yeah.
So
sometimes we all fall victim of just listening to the beat.
Facts.
Cause that song, that last song now, I'm supposed to go listen to it.
Facts.
Yeah.
It makes some dope music though. Yeah.
But
all right, like we wrapping up again. I want to thank everybody. We want to thank everybody who's followed, who's subscribed to all of our pages. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Lyrically Acclaimed, Facebook. You can find us anywhere. You can also find our music, ARCHIE for Archie, Ill Minded Taz for Ill over here. Black Bear Productions, if you want to see what we do behind the camera with
photography.
You know what I'm saying? We out here, man.
Tap in with us, you know what I mean? That's all y'all gotta do. Tap in with us.
Yeah, man. And also keep looking out for the tailgate sessions where we give y'all a little taste of what we got cooking.
And based off of Black Bear, he'll be out here every Tuesday. So check us out on Tailgate Session. Check us out for every Wednesday for videos when it comes down to the podcast. If y'all are active listeners and y'all just listening in your cars and stuff like that, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, comes out everywhere y'all want to come for podcast. Streaming podcasts is on Mondays. So tap in with your boys. You feel me?
And just like that, we're out.
We're done. Peace.
Peace out.